Yes, Aya.
Cool,
Hello.
man.
It's the extra gravy.
Mod. That was mod stuff. We find out you're a DJ.
It's Alfred. I'm Marlon.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Marland.
Marlon.
That's what it sounded
Does
like.
that sound like?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
Marlon.
I'm Marland.
Yo, I'm a verb? That's crazy. I'm Marlon.
Action.
And we got a guest in the building today. This guy, legend.
Oh,
Legend.
much.
Oh.
Pretty much.
I love when the legends act like they don't know. It's the humble vibe they go.
You act like that too, bro.
Hey, whoa,
A lie?
whoa, brother. I don't have bell bottoms, okay?
Not yet.
Not in that tax bracket.
Not yet.
But we got a guy that I've been looking up to for a long time.
I think everybody
I feel like,
is.
I feel like if you're a
Absolutely.
Toronto creator, if you're in the Toronto space, if you've ever felt a passion for the city and wanted it to improve in any way, if you saw black kids and thought they could be something, this guy helped pave that way. My
For
guy,
sure.
Tyrone Edwards, this guy has been moving in this city well before I was moving in the city. And yeah, man, Tyrone Edwards is in the building. T-Rexx.
Welcome. We're so happy to have you.
Yo, wow. I love it. Listen, when the man said Tyrone Edwards, I felt weird, you know.
Why?
Because I don't call him that.
Yeah.
You know,
T-Rexx.
Call him T-Rexx.
Depending on how somebody greets me,
Yeah.
I know at what
Community.
point, at what
Yeah.
community,
Yeah.
You met them.
right, and
Yeah.
also what version of myself they might be familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Does that scare you sometimes?
You know, I'm a good youth still, so it doesn't scare me. But I think that like because I put so much value on always offering a newer, updated version of myself. Sometimes I realize, maybe I need to share a one word with this youth. Because I'm at a point now where I can't even really hand out enough funds. So
Yeah.
For legal reasons.
let's just talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. But like there's a thing about that where like growing up, you look back and no matter what you did, you could be a criminal or you could be just a person that grew and you were just a better person. You always look back at that person and be like, that person sucked.
Yo,
In some regard. Like
In some
you love
regard,
that
for sure.
person, obviously,
Yeah.
but you're so much happier with where you're at now.
Usually.
Usually.
Some people.
For some people, I mean, for some people, I feel like it depends on what you're valuing. Like if you're focusing on career and it's not going the way you think it should, maybe you might feel like you're still in that place.
Yeah.
But if like you're just there talking about human improvement, I feel like it's very hard to look back and be like, oh, I'm the same person at 25.
Yeah.
the reason why you say that though is you see where you place. You said value.
Yeah.
So if you have a value system, yes. If you don't, or if that value system has depleted over time, because
Yeah.
I've seen people get better or worse. You know, and I think almost all the time, getting worse over time is staying the same.
Yeah.
It's not even like you're getting worse, but you didn't improve.
Exactly.
So over a while, inflation, your
Yeah,
quality ain't worth
You're
what it
looking
was.
real stagnant.
And comparison is
Yeah.
the thing that does that a lot too. Is like you
Facts.
see, comparison keeps them there, and comparison lets you see why they're there. It's super weird how that
Comparison's
works.
such a tricky thing.
It's
Oh,
so
man.
tricky.
It
yeah,
is.
it's
a lot.
dangerous.
It's hard to like not do it. Like they tell you, don't keep your eyes on
But
your own
it's-
race,
It's
but
so
you're
tricky because I live by the whole comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also have to compare yourself to know where you're at. You know what I mean? So it's like just compare yourself to yourself maybe, but also you need to have people to look up to. It's tricky,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then in social media now, everybody's just like, fuck, you see it all the time. You see everybody's successes, and you're like, damn it, am I doing anything?
right?
Yeah.
That's a real thing. You know, I feel somebody brought this up to me the other day. They were like, "Oh, so what's your relationship with the internet?" I said, "Well, shoot, when I got on the internet, we was trying to figure it out."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how simple Black Planet was.
It wasn't simple. Let's not do that.
Okay, fine.
Well, if
Sir,
you were,
I
if
had
you
to be
had-
Elon Musk. That was
If
the
you
coding.
had to do
Right. Okay, but
HTML or whatever.
this is what I'm saying. But you weren't being bombarded with a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We entered at a time where, or anybody in my age group, entered in a time where it was just less going on. Imagine entering the internet now.
Yeah. It's,
I had time to figure it out. I
Yeah.
had time to make mistakes and go, let me delete that. And you know what I mean? Like I had time to figure out who I wanted to be, but I also had time to figure out the internet for me is just a tool.
yeah.
You know, I'd be like, oh, you share so much. I'm like, I know what I'm sharing.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they're like,
It's on purpose.
It's
Like,
still it's at the
it's
end of the day,
calculated.
it's still a tool. Like, you know, and I figured that out, you know, during High Five and early Facebook days. And I didn't have to figure that out now with algorithms, and I didn't have to figure that out now with TikTok and Instagram and this and that and blah blah blah, and then getting a whole bunch of notifications, and people then figured out how to make money out of it. So once you make money out of it, you know that's gonna turn sour. So I'm actually grateful for when I entered the internet world,
Yeah.
and I'm also mindful as a father where we are right now and like the kind of guidance.
Yeah.
It informs your position now where we're at the cusp of AI, especially for me, because you see how we were used in the Black Planet and
Yeah.
stuff like that. They looked at our pages and said, oh, this is how people like organizing things. Let's do Facebook that way. Header, Facebook, header, welcome, name. We did that. We showed them that that's how it should be because you could customize everything, right?
Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
We are the ones giving them the data, right? And they're pulling from us. And it's the same thing happening with AI right now. It's like you're seeing these beginning moments where it's like, yeah, right now it can tell you a 1-2, but like, what's gonna happen in 10 years? Like, I feel like we're in end days.
Yeah. That's
I
getting
seen I seen a comment. Somebody said, "Stop with the end days. We've been in end days since somebody's grandmother stood up in
Yeah.
church and said, these are the ends of the days."
Those were more theory based though.
Now
Those
we're-
were more. You see the signs?
Yeah.
There's natural disasters and talks of war and
Yeah.
all that was fine and dandy. Now we have something that can actually outsmart us. That's never been a thing.
Bro, like you think when we used to watch movies and you'd see like you'd
Terminator.
See, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's-
iRobot.
You might,
Even go back
you might
as
see
far
that
as
at
the
Eaton
80s.
Center now. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You know what this reminds me
I
of?
don't
The
need that.
80s. You ever seen War Games? It's a movie where this kid, he tries to play a game on his computer and he accidentally downloads a war game that accidentally taps into real government nukes, and they have to figure out how to beat the game before the nukes actually set off on Earth.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Jesus
it turns
Christ.
out it's all simulation and whatever, and the computer was like playing around with him, but still, it took over,
Yeah.
and that's in the 80s.
I just watched a movie on Netflix called Mother Android, and it was about androids. They were like AI android people who were servants and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden they just went haywire,
switch.
started killing everybody, and it was kind of a mix with Bird Box. You know how like they had to run.
Yeah.
They had to run and like find different encampments, and they were trying to flee to Korea, but you had to fight off these like AI, but you don't know if they're AI because they look like a
because
person.
Oh my
gosh,
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they're smart enough to trick you.
the godfather of AI just quit.
I saw that.
and said he regrets what he's created and he fears it.
We've
and,
seen this play out.
But he's like, I console myself with saying that like if I didn't do it, somebody else would have. But he's like, he's basically like, it's over.
Thanks.
Are we surprised?
And he worked with Google's AI. So it's
but
like
look how much that's shifted just since last year till now. Like you mentioned, what
past couple months.
we're in May, right?
Past
We're
couple
in May.
months, yeah.
If you had said in January AI, I'd have been like, I'm hearing on one tree. But
Chat GPT.
Yeah.
It's like coronavirus.
Really
It's never gonna beat Google. Now
we're getting variants, bro.
Now we're getting hit records.
Yeah, no, it's getting real
It's
bad.
wild.
Yo, it is insane.
You know what man showed me? He's like, yo, Rex, what are you into right now? Da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing the TV stuff, da-da-da, but really interested in TV and film, you know? Reading some scripts, working on some scripts, all that good stuff. And he's like, yo, for real? Da-da-da-da. He's like, man, pull out his phone. We're in an establishment. We're in a bar. Music is playing, okay? Matter of fact, I'm waiting for my drink to forward, right? So we're there. Boom. The man pulls out his phone. He's like, yo, imagine like we did a script and it was about like bottle service girls and da-da-da-da. And there was like promoters that da-da-da-da. And he just fed the
5 seconds.
a one tree. And
then there's a
he
script.
goes, yo,
Read
read
it.
that. I'm like, yo, I don't even want my drink.
Yeah.
I want my couch.
Yeah.
I want a blanket. I want a pillow. I feel unsafe, bro. What are
And
you
it's
talking about?
demoralizing in a way too, because it's like some of these things that the AI is doing. People have toiled for decades.
What do you think?
Literally.
I'm sitting here
To
saying
be
I have a
able
bunch
to
of
write like
unfinished
this.
scripts. The man just handed me a script.
Just did it for you.
It
Like
makes me think of that South Park episode. They took our jobs. Like, it's literally
That's
that.
what I really think about. I'm like, okay.
we really all about to turn into white people. About they're taking our jobs.
For real, though. We really are.
Yo, flipping. What do you call it? The Simpsons always, the Simpsons
Predicts everything.
predicts
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
What does the Simpsons say about AI?
I have no idea.
You gotta do some research, yeah.
I
You
feel
know,
like
you might be onto something.
I feel like with AI though, there's a lot of predictions out
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Like
true.
it's one of those
But
ones.
I
where
want to know what the Simpsons says
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
specifically.
Are always right.
so
but they're
good.
tricky too. They heard about that like thing around them. That,
Yeah. And so now
they feed into it. So like something will happen and they'll replay that same scene,
Of
and then
course.
they'll put it online and be like, Simpsons did this in 2006. And it's like an episode this year. Like they did that with the Trump. There's this
Trump
video
thing?
of Trump going down an escalator,
Escalator,
and his
yeah.
kid drops like a sign
That's
for
it,
Trump.
like president.
Yeah, and he goes down the elevator, waves, puts his hand down, right? Someone showed a video of Trump going down the escalator, hand wave, little girl drops the sign, same spot, same place. And I'm like, fuck no, man. And I found out it was the same year they put it out. And I was like, yo, don't do that.
So they.
It was after
playing
the
into
fact.
it.
I was like, yo,
Bootleg.
don't do that. I'm like, okay,
The
going down the
ghetto.
escalator, cool.
Yeah.
Trump, president, cool.
Yeah.
A sign dropping, I'm like, no, it's too good. It's too much.
Too much.
But speaking of the internet and the beginnings of the internet, you
Yeah.
are one of the first people in this city to benefit from the internet. Like
Definitely.
people like to
Yeah.
point to me and YouTube.
Yeah.
I go to the blog era.
Yeah.
You, Lost in the Wilderness with Will.
Oh yeah.
Legends League, his blog, like
Definitely.
that blog era really shaped and gave the city
real
some
OGs.
community and some sense of like, you know what I mean? Like especially for the downtown kids.
Coco. At the time, it was Coco. And
Coco,
Low.
yep.
Oh yeah.
For the downtown kids, that was our thing.
the brazen hussy era.
Yes,
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that?
you.
Brazen Hussy,
Mod.
Barbies and what was it? Barbs and Kens or I can't remember.
There
what.
was that, yes.
It was like
Something
Will's
like that.
party or
Yeah,
Coco
yeah.
and Will's party or something like that.
What year are we talking?
This is like 2000.
You were too young.
8
Grade
8 or
seven. I was
9.
grade 7.
You were a baby.
Yeah, it was like 2008, 9, somewhere around there.
Okay.
the good
Yeah, it was
times.
good days, those blog era. Why did you get into the blogs?
Yo, shout out to Kathleen Pedro, so the Brazen Hussies. At the time, we had One Love TO, like the shirts, and those were popping off.
Yeah.
that
Caravana Day.
Oh man, like the one.
Everybody wanted a One
Caravana
Love
Day.
T.O.
People
shirt.
would hunt people down. You could sell them
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah,
Like,
but this was the wild thing. So after that Caravana Day, where and we had printed a whole bunch and we just gave them away because actually One Love T.O. I actually created for our then mayor David Miller,
I remember that.
and then we did the presentation and he was just like, "Yo, I love what this means," because obviously I was looking at like I love New York, but then what spoke to this city and the cultural diversity of the city, what makes the city amazing. I think people are slowly forgetting, but it's what makes this city amazing is the whole concept of one love, where we aren't just like in these little sections by ourselves. We're like we all, it coexists together. And anyways, One Love T.O. boom. Did it for David Miller. Everybody wanted a T-shirt, and then boom, we started selling. Then we started doing pop-up shops, right? And
I
then
remember the one on Dundas and
Dundas Square.
something.
Oh, you mean
Like
Dundas Scatting Court?
Yes.
Yeah. And what was wild was it got to a point where we would say, we're dropping a T-shirt with a purple heart. We're dropping a T-shirt with a green heart.
Yeah.
We're dropping a T-shirt with a whatever. We would just change the heart, and it just said One Love T.O. But it was something that represented us.
Yeah.
Right? Because prior to that, the only thing we really had was roots. And we also, we had two black guys, but that kind of had phased out at that point. And then we also had the
Kamikaze juice.
Yeah. And we also had, what do you call it? Like the ugly, the shirts that just say Canada with a beaver.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
like
Like,
the immigrant shirts. Yeah, the immigrant shirts.
When you have people visiting.
You never seen. It's like
Chinatown.
going to Toronto, the CN Tower.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
never
yeah.
seen someone from here there.
Yeah. And so that basically just created, man, it created such a novelty. People would be lined up at where we were going to do the pop-up shop before we even got there to set up.
Holy.
And
I remember you guys would do announcements on the site.
Yeah.
And people would just show up there early.
it was wild. And so, anyways, Kathleen was like, "Yo, you guys should do a blog." And I'm like, "All right, bet." So I hit Brock. And I don't know. At that time, I didn't even own a laptop.
Yeah.
Seriously. And once we decided to do the blog, shout out to Mr. Morgan. I bought his old MacBook off of him.
Big up Mr. Morgan.
Big up Mr. Morgan, a real legend. But yeah, that we got into the space because basically it was like somebody saying, "Yo, you guys are popping. You should do a TikTok."
Yeah.
That's what, it was a medium.
Yeah.
It was a medium that allowed for us, again, to use it as a tool. We wanted to promote our events because, that was my bread and butter was the
parties.
the real life in the parties and the events.
That's
and
where
whatnot.
I saw you first.
Right.
That's where I always tell this story, the So Far Gone release party.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was there and I didn't know any of you guys at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm seeing all you guys up on the stage and shit. And there was 6 Degrees nightclub. And what's her name? Bria.
Oh, the
Bria's
So Far
interlude.
Gone party.
Yeah.
Oh, that party was
Wait, Bria
that's
was there?
legendary.
That shit was.
Bria?
She was there?
Yeah, she came and I was like, bro.
What a
She's in the fucking booth and this guy's like giving her drinks. People are everybody. I'm watching this. I'm like, I
These are
gotta get
legends,
up
bro.
there. I'm like, I gotta get up there somehow.
This is crazy.
Wait, so we
At
didn't know
some
each
point-
other then?
I didn't know anybody.
Because that
then.
would have been like 2008.
I
right?
got
Or
the email
2009?
completely by accident. I was not supposed to get that email
Yeah.
because I remember that's how people used to send out flyer invitations
yeah,
back
yeah.
then. Be like 400 emails.
Yeah.
Yo, that
And I was in that for some reason. And I went. I had $5. I spent it on one drink, held it there,
Man bought a
and
cold
stood there
Heineken
the
and
whole
watched everybody.
night. Just pre the whole thing. I'm like,
And I was watching
get in there.
online, being like, "Oh, why can't I get invited?"
Yeah, that was an incredible night. Putting together a party for the boy.
I'll never forget that the mixtape came out like the day before.
Yeah.
And everybody there knew the songs.
Of course.
Like, no matter what song came on, everyone singing it word for word. I'm just like,
Jeez.
and I just
But I
knew
feel
Brand
like-
New at that point. I didn't
Yeah.
know anything other than Brand New.
That's
That's-
something I knew as well. Yeah.
I had seen it on YouTube. A guy did a cover, and then I looked, and Drake had done a cover, and I was like, oh, okay, this song's kind of bumping. And then I seen his name on the flyer, and I'm like, all right. I mean, at that time, Toronto music, you're not thinking what you think now. Like, you go to a show now, and you're like, this person could potentially be the next one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
If I remember when I went to Daniel Caesar's show, and I was just like,
Whoa. Yeah.
this could be it.
The one at Danforth.
Yes.
Everybody remembers that one.
Crazy.
Everybody
Crazy.
remembers that one.
So it's like you at that time when I'm going there, I'm not thinking anything of it. But then I seen you guys, the movers and shakers that I'd recognize online. You guys were the celebrities to me, not
For
Drake.
real.
Drake was nobody to me.
That's
It was
hilarious.
Brock, you seeing the Brazen Hussy girl, all those people up on stage, and I was like, these people are creating an ecosystem for the first time that I can recognize and be a part of in some capacity.
What
and
a
like
time,
I
bro.
just heard about Remix Project too.
Right.
Like everything was fairly new.
Yeah, Remix was 2006, October 10th.
Yeah.
I still remember the date. October 10th, 2006
Aw,
was the
that's so
first day
beautiful.
we opened those doors.
Yeah.
And so Remix would have been brand new. It would have been ATF probably. And I don't even know if it was
Yeah.
OVO yet.
Goodfoot,
Goodfoot.
Livestock,
It
Ransom.
was
Those
ATF
were
before
the
OVO?
cool spots. Remember we used to
Imagine,
visit?
like-
Remember when Toronto had spots?
Yeah. But like that time is so incredible. You got to think about like what man's like 40, Oliver, Nico, Future, Katrina.
I've watched
Like-
everybody grow like
Yeah.
crazy.
It's wild to see. It's wild to see where we're at right now.
It was so fun being in that time, being on the cusp of everything.
Because nothing was guaranteed.
Nothing was guaranteed,
We
but
had
you knew
dreams.
something was gonna
It was
happen.
in the air, right?
We all
Because
had
it was
dreams.
something was
Yeah.
in the air, especially when Drake started like really taking off.
Yeah.
You just see the city start like, I don't know, it was like coming together, but also like recognizing there's a world here that's also
It
important.
was really cool.
Yeah.
That's what, like that's
so
how I felt.
interesting.
Like it was
It
just
was-
so cool.
yeah,
It was.
so dope.
And you know
Yeah.
what it was? It was a shift. It was a shift in the way we thought about
The
ourselves.
mentality.
Yeah, 100%. It was a shift between, I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember when every man was wearing a New York fitted
Yeah.
and then everybody was wearing a Blue Jays fitted?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't no, like,
The
and
earmuffs
even like-
ones were a little scary.
Those
Yeah,
ones
just-
were-
That's the
those
first
are-
one I thought of.
the black
dangerous
joint
time.
with
That
the
was
earmuffs with the
What
gray,
do you mean?
the
When
gray
you had
inside.
that, you had to.
C-Says? You remember C-Says?
Do you remember the? Hold on. Do you remember the
Yo, you remember
sunglasses with the?
C-Says
I
though?
remember it.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember the sunglasses with the lion head, the gold lion head on the sides that you get at the convenience store?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fake Versace.
The most unhinged niggas.
Yeah.
of all time.
That and the
I never
hat
had
combo.
those stuff.
That's a murder. I don't stay away from it. I never like to be on the bus.
The
with those
black
guys.
Air Force Ones.
No, but that was definitely a change. You know what the
Everything
biggest
together.
change for me was? Caravana weekend. When people
After
were,
that?
the mans were not pretending to be American anymore.
It's big.
That
It
was actually
monumental
a
time.
moment.
It's so
I hold
funny.
that dear in my heart.
Dog.
Yo, everybody had a fake American accent for
Absolutely.
years.
On anything.
Absolutely.
Like when I'm talking, when Twitter first came out, all my friends were tweeting in an American accent. I don't know how you do that, but it was
Very funny.
happening.
It was happening.
Hip music, if you heard Toronto hip hop, there was a twang, like
Yeah,
an American twang to it because we felt like we had to assimilate.
Yeah,
It's just, it was all over. It was all over.
It's the most powerful and beneficial shift of our time.
Absolutely.
100%. And all that came, and it's going to sound a little cheesy, whatever it is, what it is. This is where I'm at in my life. But it came down to self-love. Once we started to love ourselves,
Yep.
look what we did.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
what we produced.
Yeah.
We're talking about, we produced world-class talent.
Absolutely.
Hip-hop and R&B and acting and
Pop.
modeling and pop, of course.
Cooking.
Everything.
Everything. Every
YouTube,
facet. Yeah.
everything. I mean, like, think of, like the city was just waiting for that. And once we realized, we like the way we talk.
Yeah.
And
It's that first generation West Indians.
Yeah, I have a
It was inevitable. Like, and honestly, like the boastiness that was instilled in us as children,
yeah.
it was inevitable. Like our parents groomed us to be this way.
Yeah, it's
So
fact.
it's like it was gonna happen one way or another with Drake or without.
Yeah.
Probably would have taken longer
Way
without
longer.
Drake,
Without him?
but it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Our first generation, like, yeah.
Yeah, were you ever on that side of the coin in terms of being kind of insecure, being Canadian, kind of leaning towards being American?
Hey, Duke, are you trying to ask me if I had a fake American accent?
Yes,
They're
you're talking about a man that went to the States and
I
played
know. I was like,
NCAA
didn't you go
ball.
to school in
Yo.
what, Maryland? Was it?
So the answer is yes, Duke.
We got him.
Let's keep it a buck. You want the extra gravy? I'm gonna give you the extra gravy.
Exclusive.
Premiere. Listen, not only did I have an American accent, accent. It didn't take me long to acquire one. You know what I'm saying? I used to always make fun of people. I'm like, yo, these guys used to go shopping in Buffalo for a weekend. That used to be a big thing.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Used to go
absolutely.
shopping in Buffalo for a weekend and come back with an accent. These guys are goofy. But what did I do?
You went to Maryland?
I went to school for a semester and came back. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, yo?
Especially don't give a Toronto man a valid excuse to have
Oh,
the
don't
accent.
give me a scholarship. I'm
yeah.
coming
He
back.
has the valid excuse to have
blame
the
you at all.
accent.
But the funny thing is, so I go to school. I started off in Baltimore, and then my freshman year of college,
But
my first.
Baltimore's accent is heavy.
It's
so-
different. It's
Yeah.
What
different.
it do? What it do? Yeah.
And Baltimore's in my heart because I lived
Yeah.
there. Like I graduated from high school there, and then I was there for another year for prep school, and then boom. But it was funny though, right? Because my freshman year of college, the first scholarship I ever got was to a school in Texas.
Oh, okay.
And so I would come home to Toronto in the summer. You know, you know, on a scholarship. You know what I mean? But I'm living in Texas, but I got a
New York
I got
accent.
a New York accent.
I want to touch on that.
You
No
didn't even
matter
have no
what the
country
accent
shit.
was, no matter what the man was, there's always a New York
Bro,
accent
you-
coming out,
A
bro.
man could be playing for University of Missouri.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh my
The man's coming back sounding like he's from Harlem.
Harlem.
Yeah.
You know,
Facts.
he's coming back sounding like his favorite rapper, you know, because it was just an excuse. But what was that? That was, you know, this is what we epitomized, this is what we looked at. It was the success stories. It's like, why did you want the Lexus with the bubble eyes? Why did you want to dress certain ways? Because you saw certain
Other
people,
people that
Right.
you admired.
and
Yeah.
they were doing well. Like the OGs, like now, right? I was talking with one of my homies and we were talking about like buying a car, like a fun car for the summer, and he was talking about buying I think it was like a 95 BMW convertible. Why you want that? You know why you want that? Because that's what we saw when we were
It was in the
kids,
movie.
right? And so for me,
Yeah.
it wasn't even in the movie. It was in
In the streets.
yeah, for me, I know there's a certain OG that had a drop top Mercedes, right? And he would come down Jane Street, and everybody's like, bop, 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 bop. Men's are bop, bop, bopping just because he's driving
Yeah.
by.
Yeah.
Because how did
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah.
You know, we're not supposed to have those things. You know what I mean? So like, that's still in me. That is still embedded in my brain. So, truth be told, I'm kind of looking for a 94. No, but I want it. I
No,
want
you
it.
have
I
to.
want
I feel like
it. I do.
you've worked yourself in that position, right? Where it's like,
Yeah, you got it
Yeah.
now.
yeah.
I
You
do.
have
I
to.
want it. It's
Mine is a red convertible for my mom. Because my mom, growing up, always said she wanted a red convertible. Any red convertible she see on the road, she'd,
just-
oh, look,
Right,
Mom,
right,
look,
right, right.
look. And so my whole life, I'm just like, I got to get a red convertible.
My nanny used to have a red convertible.
Sell it.
sell that.
Sell that.
I said she used to.
Well, tell her find it.
She used to, and I always remember the story my mom kept telling me. Like I was only a couple years old. I don't even know. Maybe no, not Noah's name. A couple years old. My mom, somebody cut her off, and my mom went and honked the horn, and she was like, "Asshole!" Stuck up her middle finger, right? And so then when we pulled up to the light beside the car that cut us off, me in my little car seat, I sat up and I was like, "Asshole!"
Your dad.
And then my mom said every time I heard a car after
You'd
that
say
honk,
asshole.
I'd be like, "Asshole!"
Soft conditioned. Soft conditioned into road rage. That's crazy.
I'm easily influenced. On my ride home tonight,
Yeah.
someone's gonna honk. I'm gonna go.
I was gonna say that one beautiful thing, and I always like reference it, was I knew you before you started the TV thing, right? And I remember sitting at your house, like it was a bunch of us, I think, after a party, and Future was there as well when you guys, I guess, lived together.
yeah.
And you were like, you know, like my goal is to be on TV. Because me and Brittany, I remember me and Brittany were asking you in Future like what your goals were and stuff like that, you know? Because we
How old are you
really
guys at this
looked.
point?
So me and Brittany were probably like 20,
Okay.
you know? Like super young, 20,
Yeah, yeah.
21 maybe. And I don't like, because it was before I even moved to the States for the first time. And it's before like I even
Wanted to do
decided to
anything.
do broadcasting,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, we were just sitting there like talking, like, what do you guys like? What's the long-term goals? Because we thought you guys were like the coolest people, you
thanks.
know? And you were just like, I want to do TV. And I was just like, okay, like, cool. Like, you know, we don't really have that much options. And then fast forward a few years, and I don't even know
2011 or 2012. When did you start
Something like
Rhapsody?
Rhapsody, January 4th, 2011.
11,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And so fast forward the next year, you're like, oh, like Rhapsody's coming back. Come to my first show.
Wow.
And I was like,
Yeah.
there.
I remember it was
And
coming
I'm
back.
just like,
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
amazing because you literally just spoke that to me and you didn't know like for sure that was something
had
that was going to
no
happen.
clue. I had given up on TV, but
Yeah.
I said I wanted it, but at that point I had given up
You
on
gave
TV
up, yeah.
because I had auditioned a few times and never got it.
Mm-hmm.
But God works in mysterious ways because for years I was trying to get on MuchMusic, and so I didn't have any tattoos, and I would I didn't lock my hair. I always wanted dreads, but I didn't lock my hair because I was like, I'm a big black guy already.
Yeah.
Like, let me.
You feel like
and,
you
and
have
this
to
is the
fit
way
in
we
a
used to think
certain
back
Yeah,
then.
no.
You right?
Yeah.
And Lord knows, I hope there's some young person that's listening to this and going, I don't understand what he means. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going to tell you right now, it's still present.
It's still present.
Yeah, we're going.
But either way,
Yeah.
but you ain't that young, nigga.
I know, but it's like, no.
He's that hairy, is what he said.
No, but what for Lord God, what was I talking about again? Oh, yeah.
TV
But
presentable.
but it was funny. So I gave up on it.
Yeah.
Gave up on TV. I was like, let me just do my blog stuff and whatever, and satisfy myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's how I was brought up. If I learn off, it's satisfy. So I did that, and I said, you know what? Bun this. Drake done popped off. We're on the road with him doing stuff. Lock up my hair, tat out myself. Boom, boom, boom.
That's
I
when
get
you
a
get the
phone
call.
call one day. I'm with me, Preem, Chubbs, Felly, probably Gucci, whoever. Like, you know what I mean?
Were
Like,
you guys out the country?
no, we were at my condo at the time when I used to
Okay.
live at
Bremner.
Bremner.
When everyone
Yeah.
used to live
When
in fucking
everyone-
Bremner. Jesus Christ.
Bremner
You niggas were relentless.
Bremner was the first South Beach.
Yo, facts. Everybody migrated over to South Beach. Then it was
The ice towers.
Ice towers.
Marilyn
or whatever.
Monroe.
Oh my God.
no.
In Mississauga, yeah.
But yeah, so we're sitting there. We're all at the pool. I'm smoking cigarettes and drinking wine. Let's take you right back.
Yeah.
And boom, I get a phone call. Flip open my phone. Hello.
Back when you could do that.
Right? It's like, yo, what's up? Hey, is Tyrone there or T-Rexx? I'm like, yeah, who's this?
Yo, all gone.
No, yo, what's poppin'? It's like, yo, this is so and so from MuchMusic, and I mean, yo, sure, click. You know what I mean?
Hung up.
What?
So then,
Drunk.
boom, now,
Off of the wine.
well,
Hey, I'm not doing this now. Not throw it in the pool.
you know what it was?
He didn't think it was real.
I didn't think it was real.
Yeah.
I didn't audition.
Okay.
One of those. It's one of those
My
random
hair's
ones.
locked up. I'm tatted up. I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I forget who it was. I was like, yo, was that you? Yo, was that you? Yo, Styles, was that you? Yo, was that you?
Oh, so
And
you
you
thought it was a prank?
I thought these guys were just playing around because here's the thing: all my guys knew I wanted to be on
That's what
television,
you wanted.
right? So I just remember Preem going, Preem's attitude already.
Yeah.
Preem's like, I think you better call him back, you idiot. Are you dumb? Call him back, you idiot. I'm like, holy crap. Hey, sorry, yeah, we just got disconnected because them time the calls
Oh,
are
yeah, you
dropping
could say
all the
that.
time.
Oh,
right?
yeah, you
Yeah.
could say that.
And the rest was history, fam. I went
So
in,
amazing.
did my audition.
Yeah.
Did you know it was going to be for Rhapsody?
Yes.
Well,
Eventually, like within.
how did
a
they,
little
like, when
timeline.
did they tell you? Because I know usually they don't tell you stuff like that until they're like
Right.
close to confirming.
If I remember correctly, it was like, yo, we wanted to talk about bringing back. No, matter of fact, they were talking about like, yeah, we want to talk about bringing back Rhapsody. What would if we brought back Rhapsody? What kind of stuff would you do? And I was like, yo. I just came up with some ideas because, like, at that time, I was being already creative. I was already curating events
Yeah.
and experiences for people. So I was like, okay, if I had a live show, what would I do? I would like, I would want to do this. I didn't know TV well enough to even know limitations
Yeah.
or whatever, which was great.
Good thing.
Right? That ignorance was perfect. And it
Fosters
they took
new ideas.
Amazing. And they took some of those ideas, and I ended up getting the job.
Yeah.
I've been on TV almost 30,
12, 13 years
yeah.
now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Amazing.
Give God the glory.
Big up yourself.
But the point of that story, long-winded. My girl's probably laughing right now. The point of that story was, again, self-love. Once I decided to just be who I was, I felt like I unlocked a new level of blessings.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is, I believe in that. I believe in that because there's so many other examples I could give you where once you get out of your way,
Things just start
Just be
flowing.
you like Ted Lasso. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times it's difficult, especially for young creators, because like your only examples are the people you really look up to, right? So you end up emulating their voices, their moves, without knowing it. So that situation where you're going into it blind, no idea what TV's like, and now you're just creating ideas. That was the truest essence of you, without any like outside influence. You're just like, this is it.
Bro, dude, I'm a nightclub guy at that point.
Yeah.
I'm throwing
Like
big
party
parties.
guy, starter of the party.
Yo, I'm on the microphone. I'm telling people, turning up and making people.
Wasn't your little thing the party animal or something? Like your little slogan?
That definitely makes sense. This guy said he was up till 6:45.
Why she had to preface it as little thing though?
This is what she does. She says little things.
What do you mean little
and
things,
be
fam?
little
I
bits.
thought you were a
I'd
big
be like,
supporter.
little man, I am.
But yeah. No, I was the party guy.
Party animal,
All right. Canada's party animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. Out, what up? It's your boy T-Rexx, Canada's party animal.
Yep. I remember the ow too.
So how did ow. That was in my first ever commercial.
Yeah.
At the end, I'm like, ow. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from, but I would get hyped and be like, ow. It's your boy T-Rexx, Canada's party animal. Welcome to Rap City. I'm like, just going nuts.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You know, like how MC, I'm Jamaican too, right?
Yeah.
So now, as a, second generation, here I am growing up in Toronto, I'm watching selectors and right. I'm watching that. And so now my version of that is whatever that becomes in the nightclub, right?
Yeah.
So now they put me on TV, brother.
And it's the same
I'm
energy.
here yelling at people.
Tyrone, we have the mic turned up. You don't need to.
Yo. Listen,
away
when
from
I
the mic.
got on television, okay?
That
this was
first
a-
episode was epic.
It
I
was
remember
a big
everybody
deal.
in the
too.
city
Yeah.
because, first of all, we have to preface it for the people, who,
Yes.
especially not from Toronto, listening. Rap City was a show hosted by Nam on MuchMusic
Yes.
for years.
Yes.
Big up Nam for everything she did for that
There was
space.
a few hosts.
She
too.
There's
inspired
there's
me
a couple
to-
different variations.
I talked about this at some shoot that I remember. You remember Vince Carter had that celebrity
Oh,
all-star
yeah.
game
Yeah.
for Caravana.
I remember what she was wearing. What are you talking about? Dead serious.
For real,
I
it was
looked up to
it was
her.
like a jersey or something, right?
Yeah, and she had
Yeah.
you remember when wristbands and headbands
Yes,
was her thing?
yes,
my
yes.
gosh.
But watch this. Shorty pulled up Caravana weekend with the red, yellow, green. I'm saying, where did she get
Wristbands were so important at a certain
Oh,
point.
red, yellow, green wristband.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I didn't go nowhere
She's
without a
so-
wristband for like at least 2 years.
Bro, the wristband with the matching headband.
Headband,
Anyway, sorry to
oh.
cut
Yeah.
you, but
No.
I remember what she was wearing.
Yes.
That was the impression she left on us.
So I was at the game. My mom's worked at MLSE, ACCU, whatever the fuck it's always been called, since I was young. And so I was sitting up in like the media gondola, and I looked down, and she was in the media section, and she was doing a hit right there for, what was it, NBA XL. And I saw her, and she looked like me. She had the big curly hair, you know, and she's in there, and she's
She
talking
was so
about
fine.
basketball, something that like I was so passionate about. And at that moment,
That
I
was
was
our
like, yo,
free.
I want to be a VJ. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, I think that's like so cool. I was 12 or something, or 11. Like, I don't know. It was,
Yeah.
it was sometime in middle school, probably 12. I think my sister was 1, but I thought it was so cool. And so, you know, she definitely paved the way to
She's
like before that
Big
as
time
well.
legend, man. Her Master T,
But
Master
that's-
T was
I
huge
just
for me.
thought about that. So imagine me seeing Master T at 12, 13 years old.
Yep.
This is when I knew I wanted to do what I'm doing. So I'm ultimately living my dream.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, damn, I should have dreamed bigger because, Canadian TV salary is not that sick. But, we're making do, right?
Yeah.
But subconsciously, I started to aim towards where I saw people of my likeness
Yep.
doing well. So I wanted to play in the NBA, and I wanted to work at Much Music.
Yeah.
Because I saw Master T.
Yep.
And I think that along your journey, there are going to be things that come your way. You're going to, disappointments, rejection, all that good stuff. But why did I just feel like I could? I think it's because I saw somebody that looked like me doing it.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, for us, we don't grow up with too many people of our likeness in a big enough range or a big enough variety of of attractive places of power.
We usually have like one.
You know what I mean? There's
Like
one or two, whatever.
you know,
saw
like,
them. Okay, amazing,
I don't know.
perfect. You'll never forget that.
Yeah. Because I don't know any other Nam that
Right.
look, because she looked
Especially
like
at that time.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially at that
Yeah.
time.
But yeah, seeing people of your likeness in places of power, attractive places of power,
Yeah.
but seeing them in a number of different ones, so you can be like, oh, I could see myself there. I could see myself there. But that's what Baltimore did for me.
Because you were there and you were like everybody else around you was able to do it.
Everybody was black.
So DC.
How was that?
So DC
How was
was
that?
my
It
first.
was incredible.
DC was my first experience in America.
Right.
In terms of like going a solo trip and then moving there for a
Yeah.
couple months. And I always said to my friends, I was like, DC's a spot where I'm early 20s, 22. I'm having friends that are mid 20s, late 20s. And they all have nice things because they can afford it. Like everybody's just black. Like there's men there that are black, put together, successful, and they haven't even hit 30 yet. And I'm like, this is so fucking amazing. Like
Yeah.
because you come back here and we don't have anything. Like at that time, we didn't have anything, you know?
It changed the way I looked at life. I remember moving into the house in Baltimore, and it was a nice neighborhood, but it was a residential neighborhood. I'm from Jane and Weston Road. So I grew up in Toronto community housing on the ends, da-da-da-da. You know, I saw what I saw, grateful for it. So when I see a bunch of, I call them gingerbread houses, like the suburbs, you know what I mean? Like how I picture Mississauga.
The cookie cutter homes.
Right. Yeah, right. I'm thinking white neighborhood.
And it's not.
I woke up and everybody in that neighborhood was black.
Yep.
But here's what I saw. My principal, the director of the schools in that region, the lunch lady, the guy pumping gas, the doctor. I saw black people in all levels of life, all levels, right?
Yeah.
So what that did for me at the age of 17, living in Baltimore, at the age of 17, what that did for me was I started to understand that I was going to land as well as I applied myself.
Where you intended and worked towards.
Whatever I sweat for.
It's such a perfect age to see that too. 17.
I'm telling you.
That there is a payoff. And that there is examples
Right.
of hard work that to turn into something
and
sustainable.
17 is perfect because you're right at the cusp of like, okay, you're gonna go
Adulthood,
to college
yeah.
or university.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody really does that that's black or whatever. But you're in that environment, so you're seeing that it's possible.
Also at 17, remember.
Crazy.
When I get back to Toronto, I'm 17. I think I'm a big man. I want money. I want things. The way this thing was set up at that point, the decisions that you would make and the risks that you would be willing to take at that age, that scares me. When I think about how the decisions I would have made and the
Could've
choices I would have made at
changed your
17.
whole-
Butterfly effect.
100%.
It could have changed your whole trajectory.
Yeah.
Brother,
Yeah.
that's a real, like when I tell you that, like, when I think about bro, at 17, me, that's a different version of
See what I'm saying? Looking back.
like when I look back, I am so grateful.
And at those
for that
times you feel
experience.
like you deserve so much and you haven't put in the sweat equity to even be
Entitlement.
worth that.
And you want it. You want to get it done. You want it
wanna
now.
get it
And
done, yeah. But
You
then
want it
you
quick,
realize
you
when
want
you
it fast.
actually get there, you're like, oh, I needed to do that.
Absolutely.
That needed to happen. I needed to lose that in order to get to this place.
saying no is like one of the like saying no for the right reasons is always going to also unlock your next set of blessings.
All
Yep.
facts. Yeah.
No,
Definitely.
saying no is so powerful.
Very,
Yeah.
very powerful.
I'm really curious
It's
to
not a
find
bad
out
thing.
though. We kind of skipped over it. The transition from being the DJ personality to TV. What was that like? I want to hear.
Okay, so as they said, that night was huge
Yeah.
for Toronto.
Yeah.
And the reason why it was huge for Canada, for Toronto, but especially for Toronto,
Yeah.
was because for a lot of people, it felt like a regular person got a wicked opportunity.
It's like seeing the president and you're like, I know that guy.
Bro, that's what it felt
I
like.
hang out with him.
Yeah.
But it just felt like, somebody you went to school with, one of the mandem, somebody you saw, on St. Clair waiting for the streetcar. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in the black ecosystem,
Yeah.
it was impossible not to know Tyrone at that
Right.
time. Like, because of the parties and the events.
Because of the parties between being on scholarship for basketball, which back then
Huge deal.
was a big deal.
You get a scholarship
I was
in
one
basketball,
of
you're the
few
man.
people that were
Star boy.
getting full scholarships,
yeah.
right? So it was like between basketball.
Mandem don't even know where to find scouts, much less a scholarship.
I'm trying to tell her, right? We're trying to get gym time. So like at that time, when you look at the comments, I'll tell you this. This was the first time as an adult I like cried tears of joy when I got home that night after my first episode of Rap City, and I saw hundreds, if not 1,000 or whatever, of tweets and comments on Facebook and whatever, and it was all positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All positive. It was just like, I feel like I made it. And like, much music, this and
Because people couldn't believe it. Like
People couldn't believe it.
there's very few events in this city that I consider tentpole events where it's like, everybody is tuning into this one thing right now. There was the moment when Drake dropped Over on Flow.
Yeah.
There was the recent the Legacy Awards, which was a huge moment. And there's that Rhapsody moment where it's like, I know everybody in the city is watching what I'm watching right now.
I was humbled. But then there was one comment.
There's
They
always one
bother
comment.
you.
It's always that one.
12
And
years
it
later,
was-
what did it say?
Yo, Rex, I love you. You don't know. But guess what? Fam, you can't be yelling at people through the TV like you think you're at Revival.
That one stayed with
And
you.
you
Or no,
learned
like you think you're at 6 degrees. I remember it. Like you
6
think you're at 6 degrees.
degrees.
And I'm like,
shit.
am I yelling?
Yeah.
Am I yelling? And then when I watched the tape,
You were yelling.
remember, I'm an old basketball. You go watch your tape.
Yeah.
I watch the tape. And I'm like, oh.
Everybody else is giving you grace though because we're just happy to
Yeah,
see you
everybody
there.
was so happy that
Yeah.
this.
It didn't even matter.
It didn't
It
matter.
was just like
Yeah.
excitement.
It was
For sure.
Anyway, so that was a big transition. So then I applied like the things that I had learned in life already, whether it was through just life or through basketball, and it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you got to work at your craft. So I read a lot of things. I watched a lot of things.
Yeah, that stood
and
out to
I
me
put
watching
the
the tape.
time in.
Yeah.
I put the time in. I take what I do seriously. It matters to me. I love it. I know it's a blessing. And there's one thing I always remind myself when I need to say no, when I need to leave early, when I can't go on the trip with the mandem that I would love to go on,
Yeah.
like last week. Like, you know what I mean? And it pays to be able to have social discipline. I always know at the other side of that social discipline,
Something's gonna.
there's something for me.
Definitely.
And so the way I look at it is like,
And structure finally.
and structure.
You didn't have structure
I didn't have no
before. You're
structure.
throwing events. Yeah, you're making money. And yeah, it's all good. But you know in the back of your head that there is an end finish line for this.
Yeah.
Like there's not even for everybody else looking at you, but just for yourself. You're like, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
I did parties for over a decade, and I was just like, at a certain point, I was just like, I'm so done. Like, you're dealing with shady people all the time.
Yeah.
You're dealing with unprofessional people who don't care as much as you do about your thing. Is there's too much uncertainties in the event space where it's like you get a job like this now, where you have a desk, you have a computer, you have a swipe to get in. Like the structure must have felt way safer.
It's so funny because that structure is my norm now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
That's what we were talking. Like when you said I wake up at like 6:45, 7, and he's like,
You used
them
to be
times,
up.
like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I don't even know why I'm saying that because I wake up literally at the same
wake up
time
same
and I go nowhere. So it's like,
honestly, I'm so grateful for the structure.
Yeah.
Because I know myself. I'm still.
a wild boy.
I'm
Party
still
animal.
the
He's a
party
wild
animal.
boy, man.
Yeah.
I'm still the party animal. So I know that, like, for me, it's better for me to have. I'm also very goal oriented, so I need something to be working
Working towards, yeah.
always.
Yeah.
I know that from working with young people, they always say, "Oh,
Big up, see you soon.
Right. Big up, see you soon. Big up, Remix Project. Big up, Yorktown. I have my walk-in mental health clinic at the corner of Jane and Chitchway.
Okay,
Southside.
that's what's up.
And that's probably one of the newest things. But for me, what I recognize in my early remix days working with young people was they would always say people were at risk based on their postal code.
Oh, yeah.
So postal code poverty is a real thing in this city. So long as you're from one of the 13 priority neighborhoods or whatever, you're at one of the at-risk youth.
It's like redlining.
It's redlining in
yeah.
Toronto. It's redlining in Canada. But this is what I realized while working with youth. I would have kids from Richmond Hill, young people from Forest Hill, all of the hill them.
Yeah.
Right? And what I would realize was if this person didn't have something to look forward to, they were at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you have something to look forward to,
It keeps you going.
guess what though? It also shapes the decisions that you make.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
So when it's late at night and you go, and you could keep it going or you could take your ass home. Sometimes you go, yo, you know what? I have to be up early tomorrow. I'm going to cut. Or you're going to be like, yo, I'm not even going to go out. I spent my money on these flyers or these T-shirts or these whatever, and they're coming Tuesday, so you guys go. But if you have something that you're working towards, if you put a place of value on your days, so we're back to the value
Yeah.
again, the decisions that you make are completely different. The people that are at risk, doesn't matter how much money your parents have in your
Yeah.
bank account. It's if you don't feel like you're living for anything, and you go, I don't give a fuck. When somebody actually doesn't give a fuck, that's the scary person.
It's
Yeah.
literally, that's why you see a lot of times with kids who grow into, they're born into rich. They are the ones that are on drugs. They are the ones committing suicide because it's end game from the moment they're alive. Like there's nothing to work towards because we have everything.
No, exactly.
It's a scary place to be at.
I was just thinking that when he was talking of, like, I'm just so grateful that my dad was able to instill that in me. Like, in high school, a lot of times, we talked about that on the episode he was on, but the whole curfew thing.
Yeah.
I lived in, like, Vern, and I'm going to a party downtown.
Like,
And my curfew's 11.
yeah, no.
So it's like, literally, you're getting to the party. I'm there for 15, 20 minutes. All right, gotta bounce.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious, how are you raising your kids? Because you've been that Mr. Outside, right?
Yeah.
So are you now telling them why they're not supposed to be outside, or are you just telling them, yo, trust me?
Okay. So I have a stepdaughter, and I got lucky with her. She's just a good kid, period. She doesn't drink, she doesn't
Okay.
smoke, and she doesn't really like to party.
I love when that happens. My little sister loves church, love God. I said,
Praise-
thank you, Jesus.
praise-
Hallelujah.
praise
Glory,
the Lord.
glory.
You know what I'm saying? And then my other daughter's too little. She's 11.
Okay.
So, but am I going to raise my kids to shelter them a bit? 100%. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I think for me, it's about guidance.
Yeah.
My role as a father is to give you the best of me. So that's me being like very much aware of the things that worked for me and the things that didn't work for me, but then also providing you with information, right? So there's little things, even little things that my mom embedded in my brain that still work. Too much of anything, no good.
No good. What sweet nanny go tago running belly.
All right. So that means, okay, you want to go outside. I'm not going to tell, like, I don't want my kid to just be in the house like a hermit.
Yeah.
Go outside. Go party. Go dance up yourself. You know what I mean? Respectfully.
Yeah.
But everything can be done in a way where, like,
moderation.
The one thing that I wish, the one thing I wish my mom did was talk things through with me. She didn't.
West
just
Indian
this or
parents
that.
are very,
She just-
this is what I said, and that is law.
Right. So what ended up happening was I still had to go discover it for myself.
Because you didn't know
I
why.
we didn't talk through it.
Yeah, you didn't know why.
And the way my brain works is, but why? But I can't say but why more than once. Come and get boxed.
Exactly.
So-
so I have to go to option B. Who don't hear must feel. Like I must feel.
Well, I'm going to feel it
I'm
then.
gonna feel it.
I'm not afraid.
Nola's 14 months and she's already asking me, why? Why?
Too
Why?
Yep.
Why?
My biggest thing with parenting
It's real, though.
is like, how do you?
Wait, you have a youth?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying.
He's
I'm just saying what I'm thinking about.
Oh,
it.
right,
Like,
right.
Oh my gosh, that just reminded me. I had a dream that you had a kid and you made a friggin' pregnancy announcement.
That's
I
symbolism.
literally had it last night.
That's imagery.
literally
It means something else. It's a new project I'm working on that's coming to fruition.
Maybe.
Oh my God.
Or new money.
It was literally last
Hey.
night. If you didn't say that, I would have forgot. Like I
But-
wouldn't have
Wait,
mentioned.
last night,
Yes, it was
She had
last
that
night
dream.
Why, you
that I
watched
had
the
the
Met Gala?
dream.
Right? It's
Everybody-
me announcing in a white
Because of
gown.
the pregnancies of Serena and Rihanna.
There's a lot of pregnancies.
there was a couple
No,
pregnancies.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
We're good to the Met Gala, but I wanted to ask you this about parenting.
So it wasn't you that breed Rihanna then?
No, I wish. Listen, we don't talk about that, sir. I got a bone to pick with you, brother. But my thing with parenting, and we'll get off the parenting topic, but I wanted to know, like, how do you decide what lessons they must learn by themselves and which lessons you teach? Because there are some things you literally cannot teach.
Yeah.
Because I remember being a kid and thinking I'm grown and thinking I know everything and being told this is what's going to happen and still doing it because I needed to see for myself. So how do you decide between, how do you discern between those lessons?
You know what? I don't know. Let me just take a page out of Obama's book. So I don't know. But here's what, and these are things that I think about, right? So if I'm having a meds on that, I'm thinking to myself, here's what I need to do. I need to spend as much quality time with my daughter now so that I can share as much tools as I've acquired, shared as much of my tools that I've acquired over the years with her. Because that's what's going to help her the most. Because no matter what, sure, I can help her make decision or decide to let her, but at the end of the day, it's not my choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can even try to make that decision for her, but just like I did, she might decide to make it on her own. So the best thing I think I could do is properly prepare her to be a good person, to be a critical thinker, to have an open mind and an open heart, to know what she stands for, to proudly, confidently set boundaries and have standards, and always create an open dialogue with her. The most important thing is, I think, is not being, not sitting on some high horse, like
I'm the adult and you are the child.
I'm the adult and you are the child.
Yeah.
No, I'm the adult. Here's what I've got.
Yeah.
this is
And,
what I
and of
learned.
course, some that's going to come with certainty, and it might be stern, and I might really double down on that, how I believe or how I feel about this, and that's fine. But I think most importantly, though, is, and this is why I've really shifted my way of thinking and being like, yo, when I'm around life, I can't just be tired. I can't just give her the rest of me. I've said this before. I have to give her the best of me. And I think that's what will prepare her in time, is that, I'm doing okay for myself. I think I'm doing well for myself based on my character, based on my approach to life, and based on the fact that I made a commitment in 2018 to always work on myself. And from that day in 2018 where I literally was walking on Queens Quay across the street from here.
Why did you decide that?
I had went through therapy for the first time. And I fully went through the process of unlearning things. There were certain things that I had learned at a young age
You have to
that were holding me
reparent
back.
yourself.
I did, and I had to
It's
again,
tough.
What led
It's
you to
tough.
therapy?
unlearning is far more difficult than learning.
It's
Yeah.
so tough.
It's almost like
trying to not use your
gaining
right
the weight
hand
is
anymore.
way easier than
It's
losing
like
it.
trying to. It's like you learn that using your right hand is gonna kill you, and so now you have to use your left. It's like this is gonna take a while.
Sure.
but people expect your right hand to become your left immediately.
But if you commit to it, you're fine. If you're honest with it, you're fine. If you're vulnerable with
Yeah.
it, you're fine. Therapy doesn't fix you. Therapy gives you the tools,
Yeah.
To help
to
you fix
see
yourself.
better within yourself, to make you the decisions on like, okay, let me approach my day a little bit differently.
Same with weed, by the way. Yeah.
Ganja, the healing of the nation. I hate weed. It's just not for me. It's legal. It's all good.
I'm
but it's not
with
for
you.
me.
Yeah.
He has medical reasons.
Wow.
Nigga losing his eyesight, all types of shit.
Oh, maybe you do need that.
That boy allergic.
Oh my God, Monty. So
He's allergic to Selassie. That's what it is.
Jeez and
What is
sages.
Selassie eye.
What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm Congolese. I don't know what that is. Selassie. What is that?
No, what do you mean?
What is Selassie?
Selassie's just around the corner over in Ethiopia.
He is, sir.
I have no idea.
Selassie's it's the Rastafari, and
Got you.
you've seen him.
Probably. Yeah.
Ethiopian.
Shout out to
dude.
Selassie.
Good dude.
What led you to therapy though? I'm curious about that.
I never seen a big black guy go, who's Selassie?
I have no idea who he is. Dog.
Ethiopian emperor, all that. Look him up.
Yes,
Google him.
yeah.
I will. No, definitely.
What led me to therapy? What led me to therapy
All
was
that partying.
yeah,
All that bubbling.
no. Bubbling is good for
Teeth
you,
and
man.
wine, left, right, and center.
Oh man, shout out to Chance
The
Rapper.
revival demon.
Oh my
I
God.
was thinking.
Chance.
Shout out to Chance the Rapper, man. Bubbling is good for you. You can't discover it.
You can't slap the ass.
You can't.
though.
Yeah, you
Nah,
can't
you can't.
You
discover
can't
it.
slap the ass.
No,
though.
you can't. You can't discover it when you're married.
Word. Oh shit, it's lit. Like,
Not after the marriage album too. Like
yeah.
And you also can't pop a lock to soca. I don't know. What's that?
Omarion,
Yeah.
brother.
Of course, it's Omarion. That's how he does.
My boy tweeted this, and he tweeted a video, and he was just like, "I just want you guys to know, Omarion was really cool back when I was a kid."
He was. Not, but that dance did it for me. What led me to therapy? What led me to therapy was I was at a crossroads. I was starting to see myself and be like, the hell are you doing?
You didn't really like it.
Yeah, because you know what it was? Here's the thing. How we respond and how we approach conflict, communication, all of that has a lot to do with, one, how we think we're supposed to. So for me, nobody's not butting me up.
Supposed to deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, yo,
Yeah.
a man can't, you talk to, you don't.
You don't
But-
see the power in the other side.
Right. And so,
Everybody thinks the power is in the aggression.
100%. And so, I realized, I'll tell you, one of the things that, because it's no one's ever asked me that.
Yeah.
And it's a great question. But yeah, I started to see, the greatest thing you could do to someone is turn a mirror on them.
Yes. Yes.
And someone did that to me.
Relationships will do that. Heavily.
Relationships will do that, for sure.
Relationships is like an everyday.
But you
mirror.
know what? I
Just being
disappointed my young boy. I disappointed my young boy by the way I reacted. And it didn't make sense to him. You have so much going well for you. Why would it be
Yeah.
worth letting this person draw you out?
Yeah.
And waste your opportunity, the blessing that you have. And I started to realize, hold on a second. So me, out of how many talented folks in this city gets this opportunity,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go fumble it because I'm pissed off.
Because a man can't talk to you. Like
Because
that.
a man can't talk to you.
Yeah.
It's like Franklin in the car.
That's it's
Because you
ego.
didn't like how a nigga looked.
You'll never see a hairline and so that was it for me. I realized, yo, I can't fumble this. I don't want to be the guy that was doing well.
Never.
I don't want to be the guy
was.
The guy that was.
Never want to be the was.
Ooh, the fear of that was like, let's get it
Fix
together.
up
And then
time.
it became gratitude, and it was like, okay, I got this amazing opportunity. Not only am I not gonna fumble it, what can I parlay it into? I've never said this on camera.
It's extra gravy exclusive. Well, premiere. Exclusive.
But I truly believe in this. And this was a discovery I had around that time, which is this. Backside. Yo. But this is what happened. I used to always hear whenever there was something traumatic, a loss, if somebody found out they had cancer, something, their wife got killed in a car accident, somebody would say, don't worry, man. God will never give you more than you can handle. Right? We've all heard that.
Yeah.
And that is usually reserved for when
Things are the worst.
shit is so bad,
Yeah.
you don't know what else to
Yeah.
say. But, bro,
God won't give you more than you
listen,
can handle. That is Jamaica's version of that's crazy. That's a Jamaican version of
you know, and I knew that was, this music is But I knew, but I believed in that. I believed that God would never give you more than you can handle. But I knew that it was also mostly reserved for those times where like you couldn't come up with no better words.
Yeah.
Like it was like that. This sucks, bro. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then one day I realized God will never give you more than you can handle. But what if that's your blessings too? So what if God gave you a couple of blessings and your blessing is Alicia and Duke and this podcast, but you're not doing everything you can with it? Why should he give you more blessings?
Yeah.
for
You got
sure.
too much on your plate already, clearly.
You clearly can't manage the little blessings I gave you. So you know what I did? I said, all right, I've got this. And while I'm in this state of mind, I actually have this and this and this as well, because now I'm being grateful. Now I'm being humble. I'm saying, okay, I have enough pieces to at least get this.
Yeah.
And now that I have this, I got this. But that mentality, turn off this music.
Just keep going. Yo.
Like 5 minutes and it's still playing.
Inspiration. The inspirational notes, though, we're hitting.
No, the inspirational notes are hitting
They
still.
were.
But you know what's so funny? This was some years ago when I first started, when I did therapy for the first time, and I really looked at it like, this is a luxury. No wonder rich people have been doing this. Because if I could afford to do this at the time I remember saying, if I could afford to do this every 2 weeks, I would do it every 2 weeks too. But I was like, at that time I was like, 2 bills every 2 weeks? Yeah. You know, kind of sticky still.
Yeah.
But 2023, January, 2022 was a tough year for me. Tough. So many disappointments. Achilles pop, this, that, boom, COVID, bang, ding, ding, all kind of thing, right? And I went right back to that mentality. And I said, you know what? Look at this house I'm sitting in. You know how long I said I wanted to buy a house?
Look upon these suits, me wear.
Look at these. Look at them.
Look
nice,
upon me
nice
bell
suits.
bottom them.
Look how the bell. My foot wide.
And the boots, look at the boots. The boots are serious too.
How was that? Proud of you, boy.
I was gonna say, some
Prada me
pride.
Prada. Gucci me
In the
Gucci.
man somewhere. And
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you. But real talk, January, I had to remind myself. I felt like I was getting into
Like a rut.
a rut again. And I said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. This house has to be clean because it's a blessing. So I have to take care of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because why should God continue? Why should God give me more blessings if I can't take care of the blessing He
That
gave
he
me?
already has given you.
My 11-year-old daughter, well, guess what? Again, she has to get the best of me. Any hat that I choose to wear, any role that I've accepted, you have to get the best of me, not the rest of me. I can't be so busy that I don't even know what o'clock I strike. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so here's what I did, so that this story's not too long-winded. But this is what changed everything for me in 2023. I lotioned my foot after I bathed before I went to my bed.
That's huge.
Very big.
Listen,
My
I
foot is
lotioned
ashy right now.
Very big.
my foot. You should see my foot. My foot is pretty. My foot has never been so pretty. But you know what? I lotioned my foot. I made my bed in the morning. I made sure my recycling. I got to things on time. I started some things that were way overdue. I started taking care of the blessings that I had, and I started
Self-love again. Back
Okay,
to value.
Back to the value. Back to that value. And I promise you, I promise you. I'm glad I'm saying it now so that I remember. I did make my bed a while ago. But doing those little things and taking care of the blessings.
Taking care of yourself.
Taking care of yourself is so important.
All your blessings are extensions of you. So
Bro.
anything you take care of is yourself.
100%. You have a breath? Take care of it.
Facts.
Brush your teeth.
Do the right. Like it's so much easier said than done. And I understand that too.
But it's
a lot of
also
people,
easier than sometimes people think, oh, I can't. I'm not that guy. I'm not that. Just do the little
The
things.
simple things.
Just do it in increments. Everything takes time, and you can't think you could do everything at once.
that's
That's the biggest problem. Because then it becomes overwhelming.
Yeah.
I
It's not
focus
sustainable.
on incremental inconveniences. What are things that every day add to stress? So like it's little things that like, for example, we used this example the other day. Like when you go to Bloor and Young station, there's 2 steps to get downstairs, get into the station. You're good. You go to Dufferin, it's 2 flights of steps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now,
The green station.
people might not think that that's a big deal, but when you got to do that every day, and you slip one day, and you bump into someone and catch a cold the next day, these little incremental inconveniences add up to a sad end of the day.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Which is why I'm always, when Chloe was here, the future mayor, Chloe Brown, I was like, one thing that I would love the city to focus on is this construction. Because the traffic's
ridiculous.
if I'm starting my day and I'm pissed off,
Yeah.
how's the rest of my day gonna look?
I'm starting my work days and I don't even go back till August pissed off. Like I'm already pissed off
You're already
that I have to
livid.
drive.
Now
from
imagine you
Brampton
worked
to
in between
Toronto.
those 4 intersections there that they're closing off for 4 years.
Yo, listen.
Incremental inconveniences.
Yeah.
Bruh,
Eliminate as many as you
That's
can.
when people start moving too. Like GCB flipping the old like apartments and stuff like that. And they did it for so long. It was like 3 years, 4 years that people started moving out and going to look for new places that the rent was more expensive just because they were tired
Just 'cause
of
of those
living
inconveniences.
in those old buildings that constantly had construction.
Any incremental inconveniences you can eliminate will make your life better, even if they seem so small. Like a little thing like my remotes, bro.
Yeah.
Just get, like, I used to have one remote that was in my room and for the TV in my living room. Just getting a remote for my that made me so much happier. I can't explain it. These little
it's real.
things, bro.
It's real. And that's what we should be focused on. The little things.
The little things.
The little things. The little things that are like achievable.
Yeah, you can control it more
Yeah.
when they're smaller.
Exactly.
Small steps, big change.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Met Gala.
Yo.
Why
man.
weren't you there?
You know what? It hasn't been in my cards yet. I won't lie. Like that is something that I've always wanted. I mean, I
dressed
love,
apart.
I love fashion.
Yeah.
I love it. I love fashion. I've always loved it. I enjoy it so much. I want it as an assignment, damn it. You know,
Facts.
like, hold on,
Put it
actually,
out there.
well, I'm about to because you said that I told you one
Yep.
night that I wanted to be on television,
Hey.
and then boom,
Manifestation
next year,
yeah.
Right. Moments.
moments.
and he was saying he wanted a baby, and you just dreamt it.
No, I didn't. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
no, but for real, like in terms of like entertainment, as an entertainment journalist, as a, you know, what I do for a living currently,
That's a key moment.
bro, I want that. I
Yeah.
really want
Yeah.
that. I love it. I had so much fun watching that yesterday, and every year I look forward for the first Monday in May.
That is probably the greatest example of our celebrity worship as human beings. Like,
Well, it's
if you want to talk
controversial,
about
too.
celebrity worship,
Yeah.
there's no other. Like, it makes no sense that we should be watching this.
Wait, no, but it's
Just
but
walking
wait,
upstairs.
but why you say that though?
I feel like if you're a part of the fashion world,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense
Okay.
because you're informed.
Yeah.
Like, this year Met Gala, I feel like was the easiest for everyone,
To
palette-wise, to understand
Yeah.
and to be critiquing accurately.
Right.
Because they know Chanel,
Right.
they know Karl Lagerfeld.
Right.
Whereas other years, it's
Like
like,
the camp year was really
camp.
hard.
And everyone's like,
I was like,
Googling, what does camp
yeah.
mean?
Right.
And-
But Met Gala is
It's-
pretty much camp every year.
Yeah.
See, because it's such a loose and broad term,
Right.
Yeah.
that when you have something this niche and specific, is so much easier for people to be like, okay, I know that dress looks good because of this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that he's a cat because of the cat.
cat, yeah.
She looks like a ponytail because of his ponytail. Like,
Right.
there's so many different little tidbits, and it was cooler for me.
Yeah.
It was way more of an experience for me. So that let me know that other years I should not be watching this.
No, but you can learn though.
I can, but I don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't.
And I guess you know what it is. We all have our things, and for me, I nerd out on that kind of stuff. I love music and I love fashion, but I love fashion. Like I just absolutely, like I enjoy it. It's fun. And then when you do something like the Met Gala is like. It's like
Olympics for fashion.
it is
because you have teams.
Because it's an activity, and it requires creativity. It's not just about I went to
Paris and I bought that,
right, or I went to Yorkville and I spent all my money.
Yeah.
No,
they
this is about creativity, interpretation, expression. Still working your body type. It doesn't even matter. There's one thing where it's not about I'm tall, so it works, or I'm short, so
or
it doesn't
who has
work.
the richest outfit.
No, it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about the creativity, and I love that. You know what I mean? Because for me, growing up, obviously I loved fashion, but didn't have the money.
Facts.
So it was all right. With these 3 jeans and my one
Shout out to JD's.
Shout out to JD's and my one corduroy and my 2 sweaters from Stitches and. How do I mix these up and how do I personalize this and how did I fold up my pants foot and you know what I mean? Like for me, that's always been a thing. Let me tell you something. If I'm going to the store, I'm putting it together.
Oh, you're not one of those guys. You ever see that meme where it's like only one person sees you like this, and that's the nearest store to you. Like, and it's like you're in random house clothes, your mom's heels.
Oh. No, it's funny. It's only in recent years where I started to be like, all right, I'm just gonna run out quickly. I can't even be bothered. But for the most part, I love putting myself.
put
But I'm
that
sure
shit
even
on.
your run out outfit is still. You know what I mean, there's pieces there.
Oh yeah.
It's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah. There's nothing in the house. There's nothing in the house. That's why.
It's not
But
allowed.
Met Gala, I'll say this: 2023 Met Gala, slightly disappointing though. It's a tricky one, right? Karl Lagerfeld isn't.
He doesn't have the prettiest past, and
No.
neither does Chanel.
No. Well,
Yeah.
neither does the fashion industry
In
as
general.
a whole.
Yeah.
So we could go there. But I was kind of shocked by the choice
Yeah.
to celebrate him. But I also don't know everything about it. But I kind of just wanted to sort of
It's winter.
mention
man.
that.
It's winter gonna prop up our homies, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
Well, there were some people saying that there was the big people, so like the Blake Lively's, Zendaya, and a few other ones who are regulars at the Met Gala. They were in attendance, so they were kind of asking like, why?
Oh,
Is it because
maybe.
of like the theme? You know what I mean?
Right.
But knowing the theme and knowing the controversy, I
What is
feel
the
like there
controversy?
was like
Racist, homophobic,
pedophilia.
Homophobic is surprising. Racist.
Yeah, homophobic is surprising. Like he made a comment about same-sex marriage, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not for that either."
In the fashion world, that is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Like, there's a whole discourse.
Oh,
on
yeah?
that, right? Oh yeah. What? Like now
I
that I've
didn't
said
know.
it,
I didn't know that all
You're
this
gonna, like,
about
go-
it.
Yes.
all you have to do is
But-
spend like 5 minutes.
and go into Chanel too.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Wow.
Like the stuff that he said, he didn't like Asian people.
Bombard.
Yeah.
He doesn't like anybody.
Fat phobia. A girl couldn't fit into a size 4.
And he said,
he
no,
was
no,
like,
no.
"Yo, get this fat thing out of here." I mean, obviously he didn't say it like that. But,
Probably did.
This
Still.
fat bitch.
Probably did. Yeah, the industry's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, but he's also credited for who Alton Mason is,
No.
black model actor. He's also credited for making him the first black model to walk for Chanel.
So it's very It's,
Kimora Lee Simmons credits
Yeah.
him with her
it's so
entire career.
contrasting to his positions, but
I don't know. It
that's
could
how
be,
racists are sometimes too.
Yes,
where
yes,
it's like they're
yes.
very covert.
They pick and choose.
They
Well,
pick and choose. Yeah.
Sometimes racists are cool so long as they're
You're
in
one
a
of the
place
good
of
ones.
power.
In
So long
control.
as they're still in power.
Yeah.
And you're one of the good ones because
You're
you don't think like
You
them.
bring
and,
me
Exactly.
money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was going to say that one thing that really stood out was the amount of black folks that were actually invited this year. I felt like there was a lot more Black people who were gracing the Met Gala stairs.
I agree. I think,
compared to any other year.
Interesting.
I think it lends itself to your earlier point, though. I feel like a lot of the bigger names maybe said no. And like, hey, we need to fill these
I don't
spots
think
up.
so, because when I look at the Black talent that was there, they're upper echelon.
Yeah.
Like,
well, here's the thing. Remember, this is why we say representation matters, because it's not just the movies. Now, you give all these people, you allow them to be casted. You allow them to be a part of these stories. You allow them to be celebrated and become celebrities. Well, they're obviously then going to be invited to the Oscars. They're going to be invited to the Met Gala. They're going to be invited to all the subsidiary things that come along with being a celebrity. So this is why representation matters, because it's a trickle-down effect. So if all the movies just look one way, well, then so is the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Well, then so is this, and so is that, and so is this. So that's why we're seeing Simu Leo. Why is Simu Leo at the Met Gala? I mean, because he's he's killing it in the movie game. So
and don't the fashion houses choose the people? It's not Anna Wintour that chooses the people. It's more so like they suggest like this is our roster that we want to pull out with, and then she goes, okay, yes, and this person no.
You actually have to pay to.
Well, no, the fashion houses pay. The fashion houses pay.
I don't know.
Well,
that's what I've been told by a fashionista. I don't know. She said that the fashion houses pay for it.
Yeah.
For the table, and then they have their roster of whatever clients or whatever that you want to call them that go out and model the outfits.
Yeah.
And for example, like the Tom Brown collection bodied it. Absolutely. I don't know.
Except for Pusha T.
We not going to talk about it. Hey, man.
He's not in the top 50.
They yeah, we did that
Respect
already.
on his name, guys. He's a good guy.
Anyways, so we went through the Tom Brown collection,
never coming
especially
back.
like SGA and all of them. They bodied it. They bodied it. And I don't know fashion. So for me to look at it and just know that they bodied it, I was like, they did their job. But it seems like the Olympics, like, for fashion.
You just lost somebody.
So speaking of OVO,
my good guy, this man, it's like, guys, stop fighting, you know what I mean? But yeah, I know, Jim Jones is right though. That flip flop is crazy, but I'm not even looking at it right now. I just think that, you know, I really start thinking about it. Really, you know what I mean? It's like, what is a Pusha T, guys?
What is Coke?
What Pusha Terrence? Like,
No, but I will say this: the Tom Brown collection last night was incredible.
Was
I
your
thought.
fave?
SGA was my favorite.
Well, listen. How proud are you of Shea and what he represents?
Everything he's doing right now is
Bro,
perfect.
We don't see him. I don't see him in the club and whatever. He plays basketball. He has his one lady, and he
writes rhymes in his captions.
He writes rhymes in his captions, which I rate. You know what I mean? And he works on his game, and he works on his outfits.
Closet. Yeah. His closet, yeah.
And like at the end of the day, he is kind of who I wanted to be.
Yo, that is so crazy,
bro. He's sick. I'm such
so
a fan.
crazy.
He's who bro. When I was growing up, I thought that's where I was gonna land. I was gonna be in the NBA, and I'm gonna
wear those big red boots. Do you have the mischief boots? I'm surprised you don't have it. Of all people, I'm like, he's getting one.
No, I didn't bother. I was also traveling at the time. So I was like, I remember going like,
I know your people foot are cooking in those, bro.
Yeah, that's
Come
how you
on,
do it.
man.
That's just for fun.
Yeah, no, you're breaking you're tearing your ACL again for that one.
But I'll say this about Met Gala, SGA, so amazing to see him. Janelle Monet for me was the winner of the night.
Well, she said one thing that made her the winner.
What did she say?
They're like, how'd you get your body so amazing? She's like, Jamaican food and sex. Wow. I said, bombastic! More money that Janelle.
Yo, I be your oxtail shit.
Trust me, dog.
Yo.
But yeah, no, she bodied it.
She bodied it. And the reason why she bodied it is because
She's just herself.
it was a theme.
Like, yeah.
It was campy.
Yeah.
It looked Met Gala.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And it was something that when she walked down the carpet, by the time she went to the stairs, it was a whole other thing.
Oh,
by the
yeah.
time by the time she made it to the after party.
Listen, did you see the after party standing on the bar? twerking that. Listen,
Okay,
and I've seen her in
Oh my
person.
God.
She's like 4'10".
She's tiny.
She's so small.
Wow.
She is
But
pocket
so
size.
tiny.
She's little, but she's taller.
Talawana bomba clot.
She has an energy to her. I've interviewed
Yeah.
her a few times, and
It's
I'll
her
be honest, I
voice.
haven't really. I wish I could say, but I've never really made a really good connection with her. You know what I mean? Like she kind of just does the interview and keeps it pushing.
How do you determine that?
Because you know what, we're all people. You
You
know,
can
so
kinda tell.
listen, my interview style is to make it less of an interview and more of a conversation.
Right.
Right. So if you're here and I'm asking you a question and you give me an answer and I ask you a question and you give me,
Yeah.
well, that's the kind of interview you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But if I'm just talking, I'm showing genuine interest.
Just Lyman.
With Lyman, I'm genuinely interested. I'm curious. Tell me about
Going on tangents.
Let's go. A really good interview is when I have my interview question
And you don't end up getting
I'm
to
like,
them.
where the heck am I?
That's me right now.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
But because now you're having a conversation,
Exactly.
right? But like, unfortunately, I just never really hit it off with her like that. But I'm still in awe.
Her voice
And
alone.
I don't have to become your friend to still properly big you up.
No,
You-
of course
you
not.
get
Her
what I'm
voice
saying? Like,
alone. Listen, she
Yeah,
could just
she's-
make ebooks or something. Honestly,
No, she totally could.
voice is crazy in person.
Like Cheryl Lee Ralph.
oh,
Did you see that moment with me and her?
Oh,
at
yes,
the-
I
Yes.
did.
That's why I said you were collecting all the interviews, like what's his
Infinity
name again?
Stones.
Infinity Stones.
Didn't I tell
That was
you,
a comment.
2023, I started taking care of the little things and.
And look it.
and then Rihanna. Listen,
Hey! So we're here!
first of all,
Yeah.
that's first of all. Second, don't ever
Yo!
touch her again.
Yo!
Don't reach.
Yo!
Ask her any question you want. Don't be touching her hand.
Jeez.
Those hands have crafted hits, sir. And have crafted some other things. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But, brother, that was a moment. That was a moment. And you guys have met before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't like it was the first. I think a lot of people watching that were like, oh, it's his
my
first
God.
time. Oh, my
I
God.
was like, nah.
Yeah.
I was like, she's gonna go to him.
Yeah.
Like, you
Had
know?
to. And I love that video of you like saying to the woman, she's gonna talk to me. And she's just like, nope.
No. And they're like, you want to bet?
I
All
love
energy.
that.
It
I
was
love
so
that.
great that they got that. They got the two
Yeah,
your
shout
two,
out to my team for really.
Was it
capturing-
Tracy and
Tracy and Lainey upstairs.
Yeah,
Lainey.
and they
there.
started jumping up and down.
Yo, they were great. Honestly, I felt so supported in that moment, and it was such a cool moment because here's why. I gave that carpet my all. So remember I talked about like sacrificing socially? I was in LA so much, but none of my LA friends barely saw me because I was prepping, I was making sure I was going to bed, I was trying to get my body to look great in my
Make sure your
tuxedo.
voice is still intact.
Right, all of that, and so I had committed to it because it meant a lot for me.
Yeah.
And I know, like, the Oscars is the big show. There's nothing really bigger
Yeah.
than that, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to give it my all. It was my first time ever,
Yeah.
and what was wild was I already had a great carpet. Forget Rihanna.
Yeah.
I had this amazing red carpet for my debut. I had
It was-
more interviews than we could possibly air.
Yeah.
Like real talk.
Wow.
Like
hit
I
it
was
at
just
the
roping
park.
people in.
Yeah.
Like Jay Ellis. You know Jay Ellis?
Yes.
He was walking by and he was about to just walk by me and I was like, damn, you almost look like the black guy from Top Gun. And he goes, yo, what? And just came right to me. But it was little things.
Is that what you have to do when you're on that carpet? Is
You mean
rope them
hustle?
in? Yes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I think people think that they're just
they're just walking
obligated
up to
to just
No.
walk up to each
No.
person.
you? No.
The publicist.
Doesn't matter who you are.
The publicist alone. First of all, the whole thing is like rigged, okay? Like depending on like your media
Relationships.
and like the bigger the publication is and all that stuff, you get closer to like the beginning with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
celebs, and then like the lower tier is all the way
All
at
the
the
way at the
end,
end, yeah.
and the publicist is grabbing the hand and
The
was
local
like,
paper.
"No, let's go, let's go."
Hi,
let's
I'm
go."
here with the LA Guardian.
Let's mush your face. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yo, what's wild though is, yes, I was hustling the whole carpet and I had a great position. I was actually second position on the carpet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bless it.
Ahead of E.
And do they position you, or do you just got to get there and
No, they do.
Shout
Body
out,
a man.
No, shout out to CTV.
Yeah.
They had my back on this one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little payola.
We showed up. You know what I mean? We was there. But real talk. The number one spot is always going to be the number one spot. It's ABC. They're the broadcaster.
Yeah.
Right? We're the Canadian broadcaster. We're on the second spot.
Amazing.
That's my dream come true.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because after that, now I just got to hustle. But to my left is E. To my left is Access Hollywood. To my left is
Keisha Shante.
Blah, blah, blah.
Shout out to Keisha, that's my girl. But like, but I had this great carpet already. And because I was in a good mood, I didn't know Rihanna was coming.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I was just talking shit. I was happy.
Yeah.
You know what it was? I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy with
You felt
everything that
so
happened.
successful.
That preceded that. I was happy,
Yeah.
and I was just in a mood of like, Rihanna's coming. Like, there's a whole bunch of you didn't see. I was just being an ass, right?
Yeah.
And the girl's like, that's why you catch her going,
Yeah.
all right. Because they're like, bro, the carpet's done. Like, you know,
Yeah.
ABC done locked up, closed up their
Wrapping up.
stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Too bad.
Bomb. Here comes Riri. I said, and the place goes nuts. And I'm like this, and I'm like this. I'm like, yo, I'm like trying to get her attention. She's not preemie at all, you know? And I'm like, I said, Carl, Bland, you can't just walk past me like that. I hit her with it.
With the basic
I hit her with the
accent.
basic accent. I said, oh, Ross Hall, you gonna be walk past me like that? And she went like
died.
this. She goes like this. That's the wave.
Yeah.
Right? So then once I got the wave, I said, well, sorry, this might work.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Finish
I
that
have,
1-2
I have
picture.
someone
Like
in my
the
ear.
head, yeah.
They're like, yo, hey, whoa, this might happen. Hey,
Can you hear me?
hey.
Sitting up in the control room.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
And then, boom. And that's what you see in the, you know, like the little suspense, and the girls are watching because they're still
They're like,
recording.
oh my God.
She's gonna come. And you know, and then boom, as soon as she finished with her pictures, she just looked
Turn
at me
straight to you.
Went.
and started walking
Yeah.
towards me. And here's the
Lined
thing.
right to you.
Here's the thing. A lot of people might be like, "Oh, well, I mean, that's what you do for a living. What you got a Rihanna interview? Oh, what's the big deal?" But here's why it's a big deal. It's a big deal because she knows her power and what that did for me.
This is the point.
And she did that on purpose.
This is the point.
Because she doesn't have
She
to.
saw a
doesn't have
black
to-
man with
Hold on.
dreads.
Not only does she not have to stop for me, her publicist tried to
Say
tried
no.
to
Make
mash
her
up the
keep
thing
going.
the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like ushering her along.
Right, and
Yeah.
and there's pictures, there's freeze frames that are hilarious of the publicist going,
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
because she's saying, who is this guy? I don't know him. It's not Laverne Cox. It's not you know, whoever and whatever other names that are big names. Who is this guy? And answer the first question, and boom, boom, we were joking around, boom, boom, boom. And the lady went like this and tried to pull Rihanna's hand. And she
She
just
goes,
she just unhanded her and finished the interview and but I appreciate it. And I hope I get a chance to thank her, you know.
And I don't even think it's because she's met you before. I really think she saw a black man
Yeah.
that could have get a huge interview, and she knew what she was doing.
As of lately, she has been, I feel like she's been prioritizing like kind of
Black media.
making comments
Oh,
to
yeah.
black media when they pass. Like, she
Absolutely.
might not stop and do a full
Right.
interview, but she's definitely been able to give them like a little something
Yeah,
when she sees
absolutely.
them, you
That's
know?
fire.
She knew exactly what she was doing, and
Absolutely.
I'm grateful for it.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Now, do you think Rihanna would date a bus driver?
Do I think Rihanna would date a bus driver?
I know he's going with this.
Do I think Rihanna would date a bus driver? I mean, yeah. I do, because just based on the fact that she's an island girl, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, money's not an issue for her. And
Yeah.
if she really rated the youth and thought he was fly, because the bus driver could be fly, I think based
Are
on
you describing ASAP Rocky's situation?
Yeah.
He's not a bus driver. It's far from a bus driver.
she
but-
did say it.
What?
I thought it was bad when she said, "Oh, your little nickname."
Belittling ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky's basically
I'm
a
just
bus driver.
saying, people. She went from dating a billionaire to
See
A$AP
how women
Rocky.
view it?
And you said
Do you see how
fashionable
women
and,
view
like,
it?
Why'd
you know,
like, you said
Do you see how women view it?
You
No,
said
this
your shoulder up. That's
is
rude.
where the question came from.
What?
Hold on.
If he owns
No.
it, if he owns the bus,
See,
he
that's
owns
a
it.
problem. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
So this is Ayana and
Because
Ebony
the
K. Williams.
Imagine you come to
Would you date a bus driver?
If he owns the bus, if he owns
No.
it, if he owns the bus,
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well.
Like the things that matter.
Right.
Mid-box said, what the heck is that? Why is Tupac playing on my phone? But yeah, no.
Okay, so I mean, I answered it based.
Yeah.
And I was you were asking me based on what my impression is of Rihanna.
Yeah.
And I answered it based on that. I think with humble beginnings, and she's still at the end of the day, she's still bought Gal Riri.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
at the end of the day,
she's
she
so
bosses
regular
up
at the
whoever
same-
she's with. Just like how she just kind of, not intentionally, obviously, but undermining where ASAP Rocky is only because of where Rihanna is that you can do that. She's so powerful and she's done so much at this point that no matter who she's with, I think even if she was with the billionaire, she's big dogging him.
Oh yeah.
Like she's a billionaire herself.
She's a billionaire
now.
herself, and then she
Yeah.
has the star power, and then she has the
Yeah,
I
novelty,
think
and
she big dogs anybody she's with, right? And
I
so
want to clarify. I don't care that she's with ASAP Rocky. I'm just saying.
Oh
based
no,
off
we
of
know,
the
we know.
comments.
Yeah, no.
Because I think like if that's what's making her happy and like that's what makes her feel like she's living and enjoying life,
Yo,
then sure, they
me
like
tell you-
make sense.
the most important thing for me, anyways, is that the person that I'm with has to be like. I mentioned earlier, like you commit to work on yourself.
Goal oriented.
Well,
gotta be the same.
You just got to be. You have to be committed to working on yourself because we all know from year to year things change. And I need to know that my partner in this life is going. It's a push and pull, right? Like I need a little push today. Well, I'm gonna get that from you.
Yeah.
You need a little push today. I'm gonna get it. And guess what? There was a time where somebody's bigger than the other person or whatever. Like you can't count nobody out, especially if they're a good person.
Yeah.
If they're a good person, you don't know what kind of blessings are about to unlock for them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, for me, it's like, yo, you're a good person. You're God-fearing. And
That's easier for us though. We're men. We don't care about those things.
what?
Status. Like in terms of my girl works at a nail shop. My girl's a janitor. Any of those things, there's no harm or foul in saying them to your friends, your family, to anybody. For women, because of the roles, the dynamics of relationships for so long, we're providers for so long. So essentially, you want to say your provider has a good job, you know what I mean?
Facts.
And has a job that's respectable,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Right.
Whereas now we see those dynamics have changed, but the thinking is still
It hasn't caught up.
back there.
Yeah, it hasn't caught up.
So it's like, for me, women have to decide what they want. You want a good man or you want a status man? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you want someone that's good to you.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they make, what they do, everyone has value in some capacity.
Yeah, 100%.
And anyone you date, I would hope that you're looking for the value in that person rather than the status. Because the status is like, I could be a bus driver today and tomorrow I could be a multi-million-dollar rapper. Like,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, I'm a bus driver. I got dental.
You still rapping?
Me? Like dental, health insurance, life insurance.
Yo, the TTC drivers be having
60 to 80,000 a
benefits.
year. That's
Yeah.
that's decent money. You know what I mean?
they
Wait.
make a decent amount of money. They
TTC driver. You said the TTC drivers got good.
benefits.
Benefits,
yeah,
health,
And then,
health
like, even
insurance,
the
life
retirement
insurance,
plans, I
dental.
think.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that works really well as well.
And this is the thing. You hear this bullshit online, and it's not real life.
It's not.
Name people. The people that I see single the most are the people with status in these quote unquote respectable jobs. Everybody working retail, working the bus stops, working janitors. They're all married, kids.
You know why, right? It's the distractions, access, options. You know?
Yeah.
You know, like that
and
that
you
can
never
be-
want to settle. You always
yeah,
think
that
you
can
could
be
do better.
addictive.
That
can be-
constant pursuit of growth can
yeah.
work against you
Yeah.
relationship wise.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you need someone that is going to. You need someone that's going to stimulate you, though. That's why, like you need someone that's going to stimulate you. But you also have to. Most importantly, you have to take care of yourself. You have to be the type of person that isn't just so easily
Dependent.
distracted by shiny things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that is. I mean, why do you think social media mash up your relationships?
This is what I'm saying. Like nowadays, it's like everyone gets distracted so easily, and it's kind of what we're brought up with. We're
I don't think
literally,
it's even so easily.
Bro,
Because
we
I
have
think there's
so
a
many
lot working
options.
against us.
Bro, like-
in terms of distractions, there's so much
Tinder-
working against us.
fam, Tinder came out at the wrong time. I think it was like right when I graduated high school, or whatever. So it's like,
Oh
bro,
man,
it's not. It's fucked. It shapes
the
your dating life, and
convenience.
it's so
The
bad. 'Cause you're like,
convenience too.
you can just grab a bunch of things, and it's like, yeah, people are not like that though. You can't do that, So I'm working against that too, but it's not fucking easy.
Options
Yeah,
and
believe me.
convenience are
Yeah.
a hell of a thing.
I've never been. I'm of that. I guess I'm of that age, or like, I don't know. But I've never been on a dating app.
Yeah, me either.
I've never been on
haven't.
Tinder. I've never been on any of that. But I also understand the convenience. I also understand that
It's harder to meet people.
It's harder
I
to
guess,
meet
now.
people.
Even though we have so
It's
many,
not.
But
we
is it? I
have
don't
so
know.
much
I don't know.
It's
access.
not.
We have so much access, but it is sometimes harder to meet people. Like based off of my friends who are single, they're like, it's hard for me to meet people.
Well, it's
even
harder
though
than
we
the
have
app.
all the
That's for sure.
We have all these different options.
Yeah.
I think also
Do people
with the
not?
24/7 news cycle,
Yeah.
it's scarier to meet new people. I think that's one of the biggest things.
What do you mean?
Like that
We
you
hear so
constantly
much
hear so much
negative.
about, like you hear way more about rape and sexual
right,
assaults
okay, yeah.
and kidnappings and I met this guy and then this happened. Like there's so much more of that now that people almost feel safer finding someone online and then vetting them online and seeing what they can find out from them online.
Yeah.
Because in person, I can't find out all this information. I can go on your Twitter. That's why I say I don't understand how guys fail these days. You got a girl you're talking to.
Yeah.
She has Twitter, Instagram, at TikTok, and you're seeing what she posts. You're seeing what she tweets, what she thinks, who she doesn't like, what she doesn't like. And niggas is still fucking up. Like
Yeah.
the answers, it's a cheat code. Like it's actually really bad because essentially you can see what someone
Yeah.
is like and wants, and now become a chameleon to anybody. So that's also the scary
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Because you don't know if a person really likes you for you. They just studied you.
That's exactly what it is. Like,
That's
it's
true.
so easy to study.
Whereas
people
it's
that like,
easier to find out about
Especially-
somebody when you,
can
talk
ace
to them in
every day.
person.
It's not good.
Yeah, no.
What it is,
I
too.
felt like that. I've felt like that too as like a woman, and I'm just like, are these people? Is this person interested in me just because what they see like online?
Yeah.
And are they saying all the right things because they assume that's what I like
Or
based
they've
off
been
of
in your likes.
what? Yeah,
No, get out of my life.
and sometimes it makes me like weary. Like, are you actually trying to like get to know me for real? Do you
Yeah.
really like me, or do you just want to be adjacent to?
And pair that
certain
with
things?
just regular insecurities. It's like, it's overwhelming.
It's funny. I feel like I'm like I don't really know too much about this subject. I feel like I like. But one
You've
thing.
been so well known for so long. People just know you.
Well, no, it's not even that. I feel like I don't know. I've always just met people organically.
In
You
person.
know what I'm saying? And then, but also too, I think when I think about like the way the dating scene is right now, I feel like I don't know if it's a negative or a positive, but people just don't put the same amount of time into things as they used to.
Yeah.
Like
True.
swipe, right? Swipe.
Convenience.
Those are
Convenience,
actual
yeah.
people. You just.
Exactly.
That's fine. I guess you could do the same thing as you're walking through the mall or walking through a party. You're just walking past people until you see the person that you like. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it much different? I don't know. Right? But there's a reason why you get attracted to a certain person. And then, but the other thing is like, quickly you want to know everything instead of building a rapport with someone and earning
Yeah.
The right to like know.
the right for them to let you into their life and all that good stuff. But I mean, listen, I don't know, man. I don't know.
And then you have people that put on a certain persona online that they are not in
real
person.
person.
So it's like, what am I? Who are you? Who
And then
are
you're
you?
just disappointed.
Which
You're
one are you?
disappointed.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, no.
good. I'm good to get married and have a couple more kids and call it a day.
One thing I did want to say about the kid thing is that I think it's really admirable that you still associate your stepdaughter as your stepdaughter. And you guys have such a great relationship still. You know, I've seen you take both her and Life on vacations together. And this is like long after, you know, their mom and you guys have separated. And I think that's just so amazing that, you know, you just love her so much. Maybe it has to do with you being around her from like young.
You know what?
or
At the end of the day, I've done well when it comes to her. I've not done well when it comes to her. Like, you know, I always feel like I could do more.
Yeah.
But the one thing is, I never replaced her father. You get me?
Yeah.
I have a good relationship with him. But what I also wanted to be was a constant. So I just basically told her when her mother and I broke up, I said, me and your mom broke up. Me and you will never break up. You know what I mean? Like, so that's just a role that I decided to take on.
Yeah, I love that.
And I still respect it. And it also, I mean, at this point, it's not every day like it was at one point, and it, but it's one of those things where
she still knows that she's got you.
Oh, 100%. I'm, you know, I stand in her corner proudly, and I learn from her as well now. You know, she's also now a critical thinking adult, right? So this is just another aid to my life, and someone that I've made an investment in. So, it's a blessing. You know, when you date people, everybody has baggage, whatever it is. And I remember people would be like, oh, like you look at kids as baggage, and I'm like, I don't know, if that's what you call baggage, then that's some like Goyard, you know, like that's some beautiful, you know. So I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for those experiences and those people in my life, like, and I can't do all that I do
without that driving force.
No, I can't even do all that I do. We all help each other. Her mom's working. I'm in LA doing something fabulous. Well, that's one hell of a big sister is picking her up from school, making her lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's hand over hand. It's, you know, and I don't lose sight of that. That's not lost on me. I can't do what I do without
that support.
That's what's up. And the city can't do what they do without you.
Yo, hold up. You guys have said so many nice things to me, and because it's so nice, sometimes it's, you know, you're like, oh. But thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
I realize I'm like, yo, I haven't even said thank you. You guys have said so many, like,
we adore you.
Really nice things that I take to heart, and I know you mean it, and I feel it. I receive it. So I just want to say thank you, especially since I've known you guys both for so long. Duke just met you, but you all right?
My guy.
Except for that comment.
What comment?
We're gonna check your iTunes.
You better start deleting.
It's already done, guys.
It's gone.
Daytona? What is Daytona? The race?
Right? No, but here's the thing. You guys have to understand this, right? Okay. You guys, today was a great day. You guys invited me into your space, which you guys have done a great job with, by the way. And honored me and, you know, told a lot of my story to your viewers and your followers. But I want everybody to realize this. In this moment, especially with everything that we just talked about, like how jobs, this, boom, opportunities, whatever. We motivate each other because as you're getting better and I'm tuning in, I'm going, all right, well, you know, I gotta get better too. You feel me? Like, so, yeah, no, but it's motivating.
Yeah.
So, thank you for the flowers. Thank you for the love and the respect. But this is me saying
It's still up.
It's
See
still
y'all
up.
niggas on Monday.
No, but you know what? What I'm trying to say is we motivate each other
For sure.
and that's fact.
Definitely.
That's a fact.
Thank you so much for coming through, man. We
That's
really
it, we're done?
appreciate
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, that was a good
I know,
practice,
it
son. Let's
seems-
roll the cameras now.
See you quick.
Imagine.
But yes, man.
But since you said
mhm.
we mentioned it, we have a power here.
Yes, we do.
You know, I personally know I have a power.
Don't worry,
Manifestation
I have
moments.
some ideas for you guys. Let me just do what I'm doing. I promise.
I want
you
you-
know.
I know.
You're not gonna share?
No, not right now.
No, not right now.
You don't want to share any goals like that you want to manifest. That's what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
I want to be able to get into the TV and film from a different seat, which is being able to foster and incubate these stories and allow people to really show their talents. I think that the position that I'm in, that I still see and know the talent that maybe some people in those C-suites, some people won't. They're not going to. They don't understand it. And I'm like, let me bust this wide open.
Yeah.
Because there's so many talented people in this city.
Yeah.
Not just you guys. There's so many talented people in this city, and I really just want to be in a position where we can.
It's overwhelming.
Put it together.
It's an overwhelming amount.
It's
of
an
talent.
overwhelming amount, and including all these
Trust me.
Yeah.
these youngins that are coming through.
Because we created that, you and the
Us,
class created an ecosystem that is just like growing more and more. And the more generations that come into it and learn from the older people, the better it's just going to get.
There's a confidence that I think young Canadians, young Torontonians are growing up with now that we didn't even consider.
We didn't have
until
it
like our
because we
20s.
didn't see it again. You know,
We still
They
have
see
those
it.
insecurities in the back of our heads of like
100%.
Toronto and America
Yeah.
and how that feels. But like they grew up knowing we were number one, like knowing that like
Yeah.
we have the top streamers, we have some of the best actors.
There's a Toronto kid on almost every NBA roster.
Yeah, I know.
Every single
The
playoff
statistics
team
is-
right now.
The statistics is it. There's like 34.
Shout out Jamal Murray though.
There's
What a
34
dog.
Canadians in the NBA right now.
Jeez.
34.
Yeah, and it's the most. We have the most. I think it's like 20 something for Toronto, like the GTA. We have the most for that, like any other city. Like we have
wow.
more than New York, more than Dallas, Houston, more than Chicago. Like
Wow.
Toronto, GTA
McKeel.
area
Like
has.
honestly, you guys don't understand. It makes me so happy every time I sit down to watch a game.
And you can
that
be like,
guy's
"Oh,
from
I know
Toronto.
them."
That guy's from
Facts.
Toronto.
I see
that. Guy's from
that.
Toronto.
Facts.
You know what I
Even
mean?
Dylan.
I
Even
poke
Dylan.
bears.
Even Dylan, I'm like, yeah,
I
yeah.
poke bears.
I'm my youth that. I'm my DJ that.
Yo, I hate the way the internet's dealing with him today, though.
Yo,
I
they're
know.
dealing with him wicked. The Memphis organization is dealing with him wicked.
That can't be. That's real.
It can't be.
I don't know.
I need a
That's-
confirmed source because that is
Because everybody that
insane.
posted it,
We need to
everybody
wait
that
for
posted
Adrian?
it today is bootleg.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I didn't see House of Highlights. I didn't see.
He's engagement fodder at this point.
Yeah.
Like they know his
Click.
name's gonna bring clicks, so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it's easy to
100%.
report on. Plus, any L's he takes from this point on is clicks. He's positioned himself in that regard. So it's unfortunate, but I feel like he has the capacity to meet the expectations because his expectations aren't high. 3-and-D player, hit the threes, play the defense you've already been playing. He's arguably a third team All NBA for defense, and so it for me it's like I don't mind the villain role. We need one. The Patrick Beverleys, the Lance Stevensons, the Draymonds, Rodmans, all these guys have been necessary for the league to have narrative, some story, some reason to watch. And I don't think it's a bad decision for him to lean into it because I see him intentionally leaning into it now, and I think it's gonna work out for him eventually. I just don't know. I really want to know about if Memphis released that statement because for them to say that about him and John Morant literally had a gun in a strip club,
That'd be so wild.
nuts.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like the one thing that I was talking to some people the other day, and I was like, the first bit of news, just always take a beat.
Need to.
Because most of the time, that first bit is for the sake of shock value,
yeah.
impact, clickbait.
First.
Yeah. Being first.
Being first.
And not doing the checks and balances, not doing the due diligence, not being journalists.
That's why I wait for TMZ to say people are dead.
But it's facts,
none
though.
of these niggas.
It's true.
They killed Lil Wayne about 4 times on the internet.
Yeah, no, the internet's...
Eddie Murphy died once.
Joe Budden killed him, right?
Joe Budden killed Eddie Murphy once.
Joe Budden killed Eddie Murphy?
He must have said Eddie, something happened to Eddie, and nothing happened to Eddie. And the internet ran with it.
Yo, is Jamie Foxx okay yet?
He is awake and alert, allegedly.
Yeah.
Prayers up for Jamie Foxx.
And now they're saying they sacrificed cows to wake this nigga up. And
I heard that, and it's a clone, and the internet. Man.
yo, people are getting more and more ridiculous, bro. It's so insane. First of all, nobody knows what happened. Like, everybody's just speculating. This stroke talk keeps coming up, but nobody knows for sure. And it's like, isn't it best to just wait for Jamie to say or his family to say?
Though. That's the culture we live in. Nobody wants to wait for anything.
That's why I speculate.
Everybody feels entitled.
Exactly.
Well, everybody thinks
like,
they're
know
experts
that,
on the
you know?
issues.
100%.
Everybody thinks
exactly
because
that.
they've collected all this information and they've seen this happen before and this happened before, so this must be happening
Literally
now.
Detectives from home.
No, it's like
We watch
it's crazy.
too much Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
And what other
fucking hell,
CSI.
Grey's Anatomy. I hate it.
Wait,
I
hold on.
love Grey's Anatomy.
Before we go, because we've been, you know those ones where like you say bye 5 times?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now. I love it.
I'm gonna let you go, Saints, in 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So listen, me talk to you in the week, but
You talk to Patsy.
yo, Patsy, you know, say a long time I don't talk to Patsy.
How's she doing?
This year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next 20-minute conversation. You know, Patsy marry Robert. You know, and it's
we
a
are
whole.
saying,
Trust me.
Yeah. All right then. So
We'll be at the door, jacket on. It's like, hand on the doorknob. Yeah.
It's this one. It's this one. You hear 2 or 3 in a row, it's over.
wait, favorite show right now?
Favorite show right now?
He's got all the shows.
Favorite show right now? I'd have to go with White
Succession.
Lotus.
Oh,
I think White Lotus is doing a little bit better than Succession. Only because of the jargon in Succession. I
It's
don't
a lot of the
understand a lot of it.
A lot of
I
And
it's
it's a
like
lot
it.
of the same.
I
And
like it.
It's
I
like-
like the tension
Sex
and
Life?
the actors.
Like remember you watch Sex Life?
No.
Yes, I do.
I've heard
First
of it,
season
though.
one?
I heard really
Right,
good
but
things.
it's like how many scenes are we gonna see her cry?
And they
Bro,
shot that
I
in
hate
Toronto,
it.
didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They did.
they shoot in Toronto.
That's sick.
They shot at UFT, yeah.
But like she cries every scene. Like it's like
She's like Teresa from Passions.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know
Never
what
watched Passions?
No.
Back in the day?
No.
What?
You never watched TV with your granny.
Yeah.
What, like I watch Young and the Restless. Why
Big up Victor.
Bold and the Beautiful.
Big up Victor. Oh,
General
yeah.
Hospital.
There it is.
After?
See, there's every grandma has their set.
When
It's always different.
when your grandma's watching you,
Yeah.
you're gonna watch
Price is
Victor
Right.
Newman.
Yep.
Maury, Jerry Springer,
Maury.
R.I.P. my dog.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P. my
that's
dog.
wild. R.I.P.
Young and
Gordon
Restless,
Lightfoot.
Bold and Beautiful,
Yeah, I know,
General
I saw
Hospital,
that.
Days of Our Lives,
Yeah.
Passions. My grandma was on all of it.
Yeah,
Days
mine
of Our
too.
Lives. That's what I never
She
really
still
got
watches
into
it.
Wait, okay, so you said White Lotus,
White
great show.
Lotus.
Can't wait for season 3. I heard it's in Thailand.
I heard Natasha, fuck, it's going to kill me. I can't remember her name. She was in
Yeah.
Insecure.
Yeah.
She was also the massage therapist /
Wait, Natasha, the writer? Like the
Natasha Rothwell. She was in Insecure, the girl that's also
big
in
girl.
White Lotus. Yeah.
very, very funny. I love her.
Hilarious.
Yes.
She's apparently going to be
in season 3.
in season 3. I'm thinking she might be the main character for season 3.
Ooh.
Because
Nice.
remember, she was talking
How good was
to
Jennifer
her
Coolidge?
about all those, like, you got to be yourself.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You got to live for yourself. And she started getting ideas of, like, her business and how she wants to
Yeah.
grow. So I think she might be the focus for next season.
Okay.
But I love what they're doing with that show. And the fact that when the Mandem collected their award, they're like, and nobody believed us.
I saw that speech. Yeah,
a lot of you in here auditioned. I
Yeah.
know we sent out the tapes to you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys said no.
I love those.
I love
fire.
that. I love that. Favorite.
Marlon.
She don't watch no fucking TV, man.
Oh, you don't watch TV? I don't really watch TV either.
She watched Grays.
Listen,
That's
I do
I watch
watch
Grays
a lot
too.
of Grays. I watch it
Was it
over
like
and over
season
and over and
29?
over and over
20.
again. Close enough.
Meredith's gone,
I haven't
no?
watched the last one. I haven't watched it yet. So, but
Is Meredith
I
gone?
thought about this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the season yet,
Oh,
but
okay.
I know she's gonna like leave.
Yeah.
Did they kill her?
Oh my gosh.
Nah.
I thought
crazy.
about this week. Randomly, I said, Marlon always makes fun about me not watching anything. And you know why I can't watch anything? It's because I have a fucking baby. I don't have time to watch it.
Even before that, don't do that. I knew
before
we-
that. Before
Did she
that,
watch
I used
TV
to-
show?
Yes,
You
I
watch
did.
TV late at night.
I would
but
watch
you ain't watching
TV.
like new shows.
I was watching everything on Netflix. I would tweet and I'd be like, "What to watch?" I was binge watching everything because I wasn't leaving my house.
I feel like you were
I
watching
used
Grays
to watch
till
shit
4 a.m.
all the time. I was doing both. I used to watch it all the time, like all the Love Is Blind shit, like all those
Oh,
new things,
God.
Tiger
Yeah,
King.
no.
Wait.
I just didn't watch it as quick as you, because you would watch it the second it came out,
Yeah.
and you'd be finished.
My thing nuts.
I'm kinda
And I would be
slow.
like, "Oh, like
I'm a
the
binger
next
still.
week."
Yeah,
I'm a binger.
I'm like, I'm famous for not finishing.
I'll take a Saturday
I'm
and
so
just
busy.
wipe
Yeah.
out a season.
But this is the thing now. Now I'm like, if the TV is even on during the day when I'm with my daughter,
It's on her
it's
stuff.
Miss Rachel on YouTube, Elmo, Blue's
Yeah.
Clues. Those are her things
Are
right
you loving
now.
being a mom?
It's good. Preface it.
It's good.
Okay.
I appreciate the honesty.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I absolutely fucking,
Find out on the podcast coming soon.
Yes, I'm having like a mother parenthood podcast
Oh,
launching
cool.
soon.
With?
No.
Well,
That's dead.
Oh,
okay.
Cricket. Potentially, it's dead.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it after.
Okay.
Don't need to embarrass anybody. But yeah, I absolutely adore her. She's so fucking smart. She's so
Yeah.
cute. She's like funny. Like, I miss her when I'm not there.
Right.
I don't like everything that motherhood has made me go through. So
Yeah.
when people ask me like, "Oh, how do you like motherhood?" I don't. You know, I've dealt with postpartum depression, anxiety. I hate how it's made me have even worse body issues than I've had. I feel stagnant. I don't know what's going on with my career. Even though I've had so many blessings, I still feel like I'm not living my potential. I feel stuck because I can't just up and leave
Yeah.
and move wherever I want to go. And so all these other things that just because I got pregnant and I had a baby made my life feel upside down.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
Still trying to figure
everything
it out.
that's like attached to motherhood,
Yeah.
I don't like it. I love her though.
Yeah.
I would not trade her for anybody.
I get that.
Right.
You know?
what? The only thing that I would pray for you and hope for you is that obviously that changes and that you find a way to make those things work for you. Because I bet you there's probably just an adjustment and or maybe some things will just sort of fall in place in time. But yeah, I think like you have so much love in you, and obviously the big decision to make a child changes your life forever, especially if you're the primary caregiver. But yeah, I think because I know that I've seen so many mothers sort of figure it out and watch things kind of come together and allow that to make them like propel them into
Yeah.
another sort of level or stage of life. That's what I want for you.
I feel like it's
Thank
very
you.
natural where you're at for you to feel that way.
Yeah.
Especially
and
because
I love
of,
that you said that.
Yeah, and
So
a lot of
many
people
people-
pretend
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're it's
And I
just
hate it.
rainbows and
Yeah.
daisies.
I
Yeah.
like
fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm starting this podcast, because I'm like, I want to have real ass conversations, and I want these real ass conversations to come from people that look like me.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many white women who have these podcasts and it's like cookie cutter and I love it and da-da-da, or like, you know, the kids are driving me crazy. But they're never really honest about how they feel. They never really honest about the things that they've gone through. They definitely don't have to go through as much as us. And a lot of them love and choose to be stay-at-home mothers. Like, what about the ones like me, like Killa Gray, like Killa Tracy, like Sasha, like all these women who are mothers, Black mothers,
They still got hustle.
and still working our ass off, and we're
Yeah.
not giving up, and we're not settling for anything. Like Sasha and Killa Gray both left their men because they weren't satisfied, you know?
Yeah.
And they chose themselves over it. I love that shit. I
Yeah.
don't want to hear the white woman like talking about shit really doesn't
Making
apply to me, and makes me feel bad because I say that I don't
Yeah,
really love motherhood.
yeah, that's the thing.
They will
Yeah.
always like shame you. They'd be like, "What do you mean?"
They're all pretending.
Without motherhood, you wouldn't have the baby. And I'm like, okay, but I can still not like I can
Certain
like one
aspects,
thing
yeah.
and not the other. You know?
Yeah.
So that's what like I can't wait to get that started because I have so many things and I have so many great
gonna be very
people
cathartic
that
for you.
I want.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
I look at it like I'm going through shit now, but it's gonna be another form of therapy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be informing your daughter when she grows up because she can go back and listen to those episodes and be like, oh, wow, my mom went through a lot. Like, and I'm going to have to go through a lot. Like, so it's like,
I feel like it'll help a lot of people.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your
Definitely.
favorite show?
Succession is number one. What's another show? It's like a guilty pleasure. Power. I'm watching Ghosts.
Absolutely horrible.
It's not good.
I'm so
I'm telling you right now, it's not.
so
no, if
disappointed
you're not,
in
if
you.
you never
I couldn't
started,
watch
don't
it.
watch it.
I
But
started and
I've
I'm
already
like,
started.
no.
Yeah,
You know?
you're in.
And
yeah,
then
also, my
the
best
show you
friend
gave
loves
me.
it.
What was the show you gave me?
The Rehearsal.
Rehearsal. I just started that
The
one.
Rehearsal's
What's it on?
amazing. It's
Crave.
on Crave.
Oh, shout out to Craig.
HBO
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Nathan Fielder. Remember Nathan For You back in the day? He had a
Oh,
show
yeah,
on
yeah,
MTV.
His
Yeah.
mind is insane.
He has a show called The Rehearsal
It's
now.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I'm in.
unlike
You
any
jumped on
show
that.
you've ever
I thought
seen.
about it.
Streaming now on Crave.
One episode away. Yes.
Plug.
Yeah, baby.
What's your favorite?
Snowfall?
I have to start
Got
that.
you.
What
Yeah.
an amazing ending. Did
I-
you watch
That
so
last
you watched
episode?
We've
Yeah.
watched what 2 seasons I've seen. That's it. So
I'll start that show.
Oh my god!
So we can't say too
I'm
much.
lucky. I mean,
I know what happens
You're
at
lucky
the end,
because
obviously.
you now don't have to do what we just did in season 6, where you have to wait every week for an episode.
I could just binge
I
it
kind
all.
of like that though.
I didn't mind it. I didn't.
I
Mind
love that because I love when Twitter comes together watching one thing at the
Collectively
same
at the
time.
one
Yo,
time.
hold on,
It's
hold
the
on.
best
That was
part.
the best thing that ever happened to Twitter.
Ever.
Yo, no, hold on.
Shout out Scandal.
Yo,
Yes.
Damson,
Yes.
Damson Idris. This guy cheesed me, bro. Because I don't have time to just watch it every Wednesday or whenever it came out right away.
Yeah.
So now Thursday I'm scrolling.
Oh no.
And the man just bears spoilers.
Yeah.
Like, yo, mind you don't have to post everything right away.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
allow it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I was
Like,
dodging
Yeah.
left, right, and center. If I saw a name, if I saw even the word Coke, I'm not reading this tweet. I'm not reading this
yo,
tweet.
because you know how it ends, right? But I saw the.
The ending was so amazing.
Oh, you don't?
No. I saw it. I know. Yeah, I watched it.
Imagine I saw that image,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to ignore it, even though I've seen it. And I'm like, how
Yeah.
many seasons
My
behind?
thing is, I've
I
been
just like,
lucky.
do-do-do-do-do.
I've seen something like that with another show, and when I watched the episode,
It
it was
wasn't
it was
exactly?
a dream. So like now, when I see certain
that.
things,
You don't just take.
I
it
don't
for-
just go. That's what's happening.
Well, in my mind, I was like, I don't even understand how that's going to happen in one episode anyway. So I was like,
Well,
oh,
yeah.
maybe
Surprise,
this is like
surprise.
season 7
Yeah.
or yeah, but
But they did it in a very good way. They did it in a very
They did it in-
realistic, very well
tied
played out
to
way. The way they tied it to the very
To
first
Alton?
episode.
Yeah.
They tied it
The
to
12,000, when the 12,000's in the safe, and that's the first amount of money he got fronted. I was like, this is
Yeah,
mud.
he's washed off. Bro,
Sorry,
I haven't even
Kobe.
watched it yet, bro. You have to hurry up. No, but honestly, I want to give him his credit. Like, Damson Idris is an incredible actor. Like, he's extremely talented.
Yeah.
Did I share the
Video-
voiceover stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he
doing
sounded so
impressions.
good.
He's doing impressions of Chris Tucker and Denzel, like his first time meeting Denzel.
Oh, yeah.
And then
And
how he
Snoop.
used to imitate Chris Tucker when he was a kid, and how, when he met him, how he did his voice, and he's doing all these voices. Snoop,
Snoop.
I
and then
didn't
he
see
does his
that.
mom's voice. It's
I'll send
amazing.
it.
I'll play it
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. I'll play it right now.
Yo, he's so good. I mean, but
And he
even
has
like
this,
how he
like,
took
very
on this
British.
Los Angeles
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah.
Accent.
Snoop. Snoop is how
He
he got
didn't.
it.
He didn't do what you were doing and just being in Texas and having a New York accent.
Talented actor, and Denzel goes, yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know. At the Warriors versus the Lakers game, I finally got to meet him. Mr. Washington, thank you. Thank you for everything. He's like, thank you, son. And then I'm like, it's Damson Idris. He finally realized that it's me from last year, and he's like, hey, my boy, hey, you owe me money. I used to love Chris Tucker. I would run into the living room. The whole family's there over Christmas.
This is my favorite.
I'd just run in. I'd be like, pissed off, man. I am.
Wow.
Because I'm broke. Broke is a joke. I'm so broke, if somebody robbed me, they'll just be practicing. I meet Chris Tucker at a party. And he's like, oh, man, I'm a big fan, man. Hey, take my number. We should work. Take my number. And yeah, I haven't called him. I haven't had the guts to call him. I used to listen to Snoop every day to get into the character of Franklin Saint. And then, yeah, I met him. I brought him to set. And he's like, man, this off the chain, nephew. So my mom, she didn't know, right? She didn't know that this wasn't real. The first time I had an on-screen kiss, she was like, damn see. How can you cheat on your girlfriend in front of the whole family? So then I get Franklin Saint, right? He's obviously a drug dealer. She's like, so now you are selling cocaine.
Amazing.
Good.
I've
So
never seen him.
talented.
He's so talented.
He used to do like Vines and like YouTube videos with John Boyega and a bunch of different other guys in the UK when they were all like young boys just running around and
Yo,
stuff.
you see how like the UK's got this.
Lorenz Tate was talking about it the other day about how Black Brits are taking over. He was
I
on Earn Your
didn't get
Leisure.
I saw the video, but I didn't click it. But like,
I have it written down as a topic because I was
For
like, I
real?
wanted to ask you about that.
well, I
'cause
mean, I think it's wow. I think it's
I think-
great.
yeah.
I just I'm looking forward to our turn as well.
True.
Well, we're kind of getting it. Shamir, Stephanie
Shamir's
are,
doing a great.
are
And
foot
John
in the
Wick,
door
yeah,
right
that was-
now. Like,
Shamir-
especially
Sick
Shamir.
role.
Shamir's
Shamir's had so many like good moments. I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, you go.
Stephen
was
too,
sick
man.
in John Wick,
Stephen
bro.
James, he's had some incredible
Star
moments
bro at
with
that.
Sanaa Lathan and doing
Yeah.
movies with Halle. Like it's crazy what they're doing right
The
now.
guy in Your Honor, the kid.
Yes, Jordan.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
Crawford. Yeah.
Is that his
Alright.
name?
Lamar
it's
Johnson?
Lamar Johnson.
Or
Yeah,
is
that's
it-
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Who am
Lamar
I thinking about?
Johnson. He's
Who's
in
Jordan?
Last of Us.
I'm not sure.
There's another actor, Jordan Crawford, that I'm thinking
Lamar
about.
Johnson is an
That's what I was thinking.
Lamar is
extremely
great.
talented.
Yeah.
Extremely
I heard that
talented
movie
as well.
Brothers was really good, and it's
Yeah.
like based in Scarborough.
Yeah. I
Oh yeah,
was
wanted
there
to
for
see
the
that.
premiere of that.
Yeah.
and
Was
to-
it good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Strong.
He's a really great actor, man. He
Yeah.
did amazing in Your Honor.
Yo.
Amazing in Your Honor. And even though
We have so much talent because if you think about like even like Karina Evans and that whole
Jordan
crew,
Oram,
yeah, that whole crew, there's like just a bunch of creatives. Even Jordan Alexander, like honestly, the city's on fire right
bro.
We have
CPA
very-
November.
Yeah.
CPA
Jordan
November-
Oram just did Saw with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
The last Saw movie.
Yeah. Shout out Jordan.
He did God's Plan. Corinna's been doing
P Valley.
many
She
things.
did some P
so
Valley
many
stuff.
shit. Yeah. She did a Snowfall episode as well.
She did, and she did Gossip Girl episode. She's unreal.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Karina Evans. Like
Yeah.
she's so talented.
I'm a fan of everybody.
I'm a fan
honestly.
of everybody.
I watch
I want all
everyone,
of us
and
to
I
There's one thing.
love
There's
it.
one thing I would say is that I do not have no time for the hate. I have no time for the funny business.
Yeah.
No time for the badmind thing. You know, all I want is like my goal is to be able to tell stories and help people tell their stories. I just want to see all of us shine. You know, and I want us to have. I want all of us to be able to do that with a certain civic pride. You know, I think we can really update the identity of what this city is.
Definitely.
And there's only things to gain from it.
For sure.
So for any bad mind people, you just keep that energy to yourself. Figure it out amongst yourself. Take it to the altar. Take it to the bathroom.
And remember, God don't give you more than you can handle. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyrone Edwards.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Marlon.
Wait, can
Okay.
we talk about one moment? I cut off all my motherfucking hair.
Yo. I noticed. I love it though.
Thanks, guys. And I had a moment. It was yesterday. I cut all my hair and I got my nose pierced twice. Like, one
Oh,
day,
wait.
just
Oh,
back to
shit.
back.
I can only
I've
see
had
one side,
this
so I didn't
one.
know.
Yeah,
So,
but then you pierced two more?
Yeah, so I got this one and the small one yesterday together.
Motherhood has her wild.
Yeah.
You know, trying to live life.
What you
But
gotta do.
nobody believed that I was gonna cut it. It's all gone.
They didn't believe in me.
I kind of want to go shorter.
Little Halle Berry swordfish.
I don't know, shorter, and I want to do a color. You know, I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun.
Look a
with
lime
it.
green. Maybe.
Maybe a lilac,
A
a
lilac.
turquoise, something.
Oh,
you
man.
know.
You got anything you want to plug?
Episode 105 just dropped featuring Big AB.
Return
That's out
of
on
the
audio.
Mac.
Please go tap in Return of the Mac podcast, ROTMPOD on Instagram. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. May 17th, Comedy Bar, Cab Room, 9:30 p.m. Extra Gravy Comedy returns.
Yes,
We've
sir.
got 4 amazing comedians, including myself. And who knows, man? Maybe Norm might be back. Who knows? You got to pop up and see. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Another week, another classic.
May
I'm
17th.
Marlon.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Duke.
And that was the Extra Gravy.
Skirt, skirt.
Bam, 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 bam.